perceive them as being quite erudite, like they're sitting on top of a mountain, and the rest of us simpletons cannot understand. When I ask them a question, it's like, look it up, do the research. I've always felt exactly the opposite. If I can say something at a fifth grade level, I'm going to do it, even if I'm talking about something that is only taught at a college level. And the reason being, I want the most amount
Steve is a professor
to understand what I am saying. So, although you can look at it, you can interpret it, you can examine it any way you want, the statement, nobody fully understands God's plan, is plain, simple, and true. Make sense, or am I just talking out of my ass?
Yeah. I mean, that's if nobody can understand the mind of God, then why even bother talking about it?
Well, that's a very good question, sir.
Also, if God's will cannot be affected, what's the point of praying?
Well, that's a good point too. It's a different issue, but yes, I understand why people pray, but you can make an argument that when you are praying, you are literally going against God's plan. You want God's plan to change. You could make a quality argument there.
Yeah, it's an old George Carlin book or joke about what's the point of being God if every two-bit hustler with a prayer book can come along and change your plan.
Exactly right. Yeah. By the way, I love George Carlin. When I was in high school, I used to memorize his bits. I love George Carlin. Of course, nowadays I play more Nikki Glaser and Tomlinson. Well, what's Tomlinson's word?
Taylor Tomlinson.
Taylor Tomlinson.
They're more attractive.
Also, when they talk about the subject I play, it's a little easier on the ears when a woman is saying it rather than a man is saying it. For those of you that are
wondering, a woman talks about a hand job.
And it's more hot. That's right. I mean, if a guy came on and talked about a hand job, I think I would, in communist words, I think I would lose 100 nieces and nephews. But because it's a woman talking about it, it makes it easier to go down, so to speak. But anyways, it is, thank you. It is time for our break. And Z is new. Again, this will be up to Reverend Scott Violet and the Mod Squad. Z is new on stage. For those of you that are in the audience, you're here for the first time, this is how the show works. Unlike other clubhouse rooms, we encourage everybody, especially the new speakers, and that means you, to be bold, brave, courageous. Raise your hand, come on up, and talk about whatever you want. We never put a restriction on content, unlike other clubhouse rooms. Current events, politics, religion, God. Maybe you're having a problem and you need our advice. Maybe you think we're having a problem and we need your advice. Just have a take and don't suck. What does that mean? Don't come up and say the earth is flat or we didn't land on the moon. Otherwise, I'm letting JCC off the leash and he will grill your ass. 2 hours in the tank, 1 hour left. I'm going on a half-hour break like I do, pardon the pun, religiously. So don't go away, and we'll be right back with the XO, Reverend Scott, the sexiest voice on the Mod Squad, Violet, and the rest of the Mod Squad. Shabbat Shalom.
Scary thing happened to me a few years ago. I was out to dinner enjoying a steak, and I was enjoying it a little bit too much because I began to choke. And I looked around at my table for help, and I don't want to name any names, but let's just say that everybody froze. Oh, actually, I do want to name names. Rabbi Simonson. Sorry. A very interesting thing happens when you think you might die. You have this panicked desire, this panicked need to know if you've lived your life right. If you've done enough, if you've said enough, was it all worth it? I don't want to spoil it for you, but I did survive. I And you know that parable about the man who's stranded on a roof during a flood, and every time somebody, we have all these chances to wake up and change the course of our lives. Everything can have purpose if you allow it. Thinking about switching careers? Maybe that's God pushing you. Hesitating about a big decision? That could be God telling you to think twice. Thinking about going all in on crypto? That might not be God. Ask your accountant what they think. I can't back crypto junk. But if you think God's plan is supposed to feel like something specific, and you haven't felt it, and you wonder if we're all in on some big secret that you aren't in on, let me tell you, you're in on it.
Wanna share your point of view? Vent a little about what's bothering you. Got a question that's on your mind? Be bold, brave, courageous. Come on up and get your fresh fire. What does that mean? Well, listen up. Have a take and just don't suck. Be respectful, make your point in a reasonable way. Come on up. That's Uncle Steve today.
Reverend Scott.
Uncle Steve, what's going on?
Wherefore art thou, Reverend Scott?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm here.
Pretty good 2 hours.
Oh, always Uncle Steve. Always Uncle Steve. Great little exchange with my friend El Normo there, and interesting.
And I spent 15 minutes with the guy who came on yesterday and said he was going to eviscerate me. I don't think he was very successful.
No one eviscerates my Uncle Steve.
You're a tad loud. You might have to back off your mic a little.
Let's back off the mic a little bit. There we go.
There you go. Anyways, I'm stepping out of the captain's chair. You go ahead.
All right.
Run the ship straight and true. As a friendly reminder, Z is new on stage, and take it away.
All right. I'm just gonna do things to open up devotionally here. Just a little plea for the bargain. Bargain, but violent. I want a little bargain here. I want a little the grand deal I'm proposing here on Uncle Steve's show.
Finally, knew it was. It's kind of late in the fourth quarter for America, and we're behind by 3 touchdowns. Let's make one last stab at a grand bargain between the two sides that hate each other so much. America used to do this all the time, make bargains, and I've suggested many myself, like you stop saying fetuses are the same as babies, and we'll stop saying grandchildren are the same as biological women. You stop saying alternative facts, and we'll stop saying my truth. You stop saying thoughts and prayers, and we'll stop with the land acknowledgement. You admit there's no such thing as voter fraud, and we'll admit that getting a picture ID isn't really that fucking hard to do. Stuff like that. But as it is so late in the game, let's just go right to the granddaddy of bargains now. The left will seriously quash all their loony woke shit, and the right will stop the slide into autocracy. That's really the only card I play. Yo.
Scott.
Little silence.
I had my mic turned down. I forgot to
Break
go
the
there.
silence.
There we go. So that's the only
break the silence.
bargain, right? The woke shit versus the fact that we're losing democracy.
And before I forget, sorry, communist. I was just reading your back channel. I accidentally pushed the wrong button. But the response to, and thank you for your back channel, I read them all and respond. The response to it is, I run the show the way I run the show because that's the way most people want me to run my show. And so that's the answer to your question. Sorry about that, Reverend Scott. Please.
He runs the show, and that's the way it's going to go.
And we love the show the way it's run. And I'll just read a couple sentences from Emancipation After Hegel, Achieving a Contradictory Revolution, which is the best book, the most important book for me intellectually I've read in a couple years. I think that's true. and this is something I wish we would all keep in mind during Clubhouse exchange. If I, for instance, take up a skeptical position and reject the certainty of any knowledge at all, the logic of my own position contradicts itself by establishing universal certainty about the lack of certainty. Or if I demand universal tolerance for all different belief systems, I inherently refuse to tolerate those belief systems that don't allow for tolerance. If, on the other hand, I tolerate the intolerant system, then I forgo the universalization of tolerance. In each case, the thesis is at odds with itself on the basis of its own articulation, not through the emergence of an antithesis that responds with a counterpoint. These are not exceptional cases, but instances of what inevitably occurs with any thesis. For Hegel, the thesis always generates its own contradiction, So before you pull apart someone else's logic, look at your own. Any position you have is internally contradictory somewhere, right? There's no perfect logic, there's no perfect consistency. The contradictions run all the way down in all of our opinions. If we held to that, we might be a little more humble and a little more circumspect about our own judgments. But, that's a lot to ask on Clubhouse or even in life. Let's go to Z. Z, nice to see you. Welcome to the stage. Would you like a fresh five to tell us what's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I do know that there's always interference everywhere in the universe and the galaxy, on our beautiful planet. There's always interference, and we all have a choice to be constructive in the interference or destructive. And I've been both. So I will say I had to start laughing at some point because I'm like, I can't remember what did I come up to say? And basically, I just really wanted to say hello and wish us all, including myself, peace and unity and abundance, and that no matter what water has gone under our proverbial bridges, there's always work to be done. And the work doesn't always have to be grueling, but sometimes it is, whether it's housework or, working on, I call it the side B of my record album of my life. There's just a lot of wonderful things going on if I choose to do the things that are, this is where it gets sticky, because I say, this is where God told me to do something, and that's not exactly what's happening, but somehow I do have a connection to something that I can't explain, because it does run through the course of my life, like the thread through a beautiful pearl necklace that just continues to grow, right? And I don't know what this experience is. I recently talked with somebody I care about deeply, and they had an experience on some mushrooms, and I'm like, this wonderful dude said finally, after some years of being on planet Earth, that there's something a little wacky going on, and he talked about being able to see his legs through a table and all wild stuff and conversations, and maybe a lot of that can be scientifically debunked. I don't know. I just know that we're all in this together, and that's true. We are all in this together. We do influence and affect each other. I'm influenced and affected by people that I know, and I learned a lot of this being on Clubhouse, because I was kind of, just maybe had some ignorance going on, just skipping through my life. So I don't know what else to say, except that whatever this entity is, I did try to become an atheist, and it didn't work for me. And I don't know if it's because, I was very, very young, pre-verbal, when people would sit with me at night and say, now I lay me down to sleep, and all that good stuff. And so, yeah, I believe in something way powerful than me, and I wish everybody here unity, abundance, and peace. and fun. And that's all I really wanted to share and to say I love you guys.
Thank you so much, Z. I appreciate that. It's both reflective intellectually and heartfelt. Those are things we love on this show when somebody speaks from the head and the heart. Wonderful. Let's go over to someone new, Dr. Mitch. Dr. Mitch, haven't seen you on the stage today, and you have a really cool PTR. I don't know if it's a super being or what it is, but it's interesting and neat. Would you like a fresh five, Dr. Mitch, to share what's on your mind today?
Hey, Reverend Scott, I just wanted to, actually, I think Dee said everything I would have tried to articulate. So just want to be supportive. I just like to come up supportive. I don't know that I have any wisdom or pearls. You know, just try to be present, be nice to people, and do the best you can. That's about it. So lots of love to everyone. Thank you, Reverend Scott.
Thanks, Dr. Mitch. Appreciate you just coming up to share the love. We love that, and we're glad to have you here, even if you just feel like hanging out and listening, which many people do. It's, again, as Uncle Steve said, functions kind of like FM radio for a lot of people, and we're thrilled to provide that service. Let's go to Alma. Alma, would you like a fresh five to share what's on your mind? Alma going once, Alma going twice. Then we're going to go to my dear friend from the north, Andrew Tutty, my dear friend. It's great to see you, my friend. Would you like another fresh five to share what's on your mind and the title of the last hour of the show?
Well, Scott, thank you. I will, because you played something talking about the fourth quarter, I will mention two fourth quarters in the Canadian Football League yesterday. Very, very exciting. One was Calgary and Montreal, went right down to the wire. Calgary was behind 22-3 at the half, ended up tying the game 32 all, and were going down to score the winning touchdown with 20 seconds left, and didn't the guy fumble, and Montreal recovered and won the game. Very exciting. The next game was Hamilton and Edmonton. Hamilton had their backup quarterback, Trey Ford, who actually is a former University of Waterloo Warrior, wearing black and gold in both scenarios. That game came down to the fourth quarter, where Toronto, I'm lying, it's Toronto and Hamilton, not Edmonton. So Toronto scored what would be the tying touchdown if they got the single point, and they missed. So Hamilton was still ahead by 1 point. Toronto got the ball back and marched the ball down to the 30 with dying seconds, went to kick the field goal, and didn't they miss? And that ended the game. Hamilton won by 1 point. Very exciting stuff, Scott. You should tune in. I have a fellow American, Alan. You know Alan, at that room you were modding there for a while with me. He has embraced the Canadian Football League entirely. I get little messages from him all the time during the games. So I encourage you, once again, to look north, young man, and watch the very entertaining sports. And of course, we have the World Cup final today, and I think it rained enough maybe to clear the air that people aren't running around in toxic fumes. So anyway, thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to hear. You know, Andrew, you really, you might get me into Canadian football. Keep working on me. I'm like one of the, you'd be like an evangelical trying to keep leading someone to Jesus. I love it, man. Always a pleasure.
You got to remember, Scott, that many of the players are from the United States. We just don't have that kind of population. And so, you know, you'll probably, like, Doug Flutie played up here for years.
I know that. Yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
So, anyway.
And Doug Flutie, I think, played for Trump's team, right? The Generals, I think. We won't hold that against him.
Yeah, and of course, the old Warren Moon, too, if you remember Warren Moon.
Oh, yeah, of course. Great for the former Oilers quarterback. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. And maybe I'll see you on one of my pop-up rooms. Always a pleasure. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I think I might regret this, but let's go to communists. Communists, great to see you. Still,
Scotty, no regret.
no regrets. Sorry, communists. Would you like a fresh five here in this last hour of the show to complain about me or the show or anything else you want to talk?
Yeah, so I see that Steve was being dishonest with everybody. So, I looked at your PTR and so I did a quick Google search and I found you on IMDb. Like, you never told anybody that you were a millionaire, a celebrity millionaire on a drive-by podcast. You're on IMDb.
Wait a minute. If Reverend Scott is a millionaire, I want some of that money right now.
I would give it to you, Uncle Steve.
Right, Scott? Will you be my sugar daddy?
Oh my God, I would be your sugar uncle, your sugar nephew. We could have all kind of role plays. Communist, anything else?
Yeah. Why did you? Well, actually, that also falls on you. Why you didn't tell anybody that you were a celebrity and you're on IMDb?
This isn't exactly an unusual name. It's not like it's Dmitry Petreskov. I think you're looking at the wrong Scott Jones.
No.
Now, Reverend Scott does. Hello. Reverend Scott does have a YouTube podcast. Reverend Scott, do you want to give a plug right now or no?
And you can find Give and Take, the podcast, on YouTube, or you can find me on Facebook. You can find me. I recommend listening. I actually just like to listen to the show, but I don't actually listen to my own show. But you can find Give and Take or New Persuasive Words anywhere you get your podcasts. So tune in to me, and if you like that Hegel quote, about Hegel, I read the most recent podcast was with that guy Tom McGowan. Probably again one of the best intellectual interlocutors I've engaged with in a while. So yeah, all right. Communist, anything else?
You didn't tell me that you were the dude from Counting Cars.
Well, yeah, of course. I'm many things. I'm many things.
I remember Counting Cars. That was born out of Pawn Stars.
Exactly. So if you just Google Scott Jones, the first thing that pops up is going to be Scott Jones, formerly known as the man from Counting Cars, a TV personality.
Sure. I'm so many things. Okay, Communist, anything else, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, you're a millionaire, and Steve's been hiding this from everybody.
Do you believe that's the case, communist?
Nobody ever asked me if Reverend Scott was a millionaire. Why am I hiding it?
No, you never told anybody because you said that you know everybody on your
JCC, I knew I would regret this. I knew it.
This is great content. No regrets.
It's true. It is great. It's great for the show.
Yeah, look, communist, I do know everybody on my mod squad. I do have everybody's cell phone number on my mod squad. And I know personal things about their family lives. It doesn't mean I'm going to go and tell them. Someone has to ask, believe me. I know a lot of personal things about the mod squad in their personal lives, but I haven't misrepresented anything. Nobody's asked, and if they were to ask me, I'd probably say, it's none of your fucking business.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you, communists? That, of course, is Greta Thunberg. I love that, sure.
That's important for people to know that, you're a celebrity because you got people that's trying to get in the Hollywood business and.
Well, why don't you just ask him?
Yeah, I'm presuming. Wait, communist.
Why don't you just ask?
A quick correction. Communist.
Right, anybody that comes in the room, you're welcome to talk about it.
Please listen, communist. You're making the presumption that you have the correct search of Scott Jones. So, like Steve said, ask
Scott Jones is the way to go. SCOTTKENTJONES, because I'm probably one of the only one of them in the world, and the only one with a significant social footprint. Not that one's that huge, but if you wanna find me, Scott Kent Jones is always the way to go, and that's all my socials.
But this is how it works. It's real simple. Communists unmute and say, Reverend Scott, I have a question. Are you a millionaire? Very simple.
Now is your time to talk, communist.
Yep. Okay, so I put the photo on my PTR. This is Scott Jones because I look at his PTR and I put it in my PTR.
Ask the question that Steve asked you to ask.
That is, I remember when that photo was taken. That's a little old, but I still look great.
Yeah, see, I told you that's him. That guy's a freaking billionaire. I don't
No,
know that.
you're mistaken.
How am I mistaken? He's on
Where does this say he's a millionaire? And once again, you failed to ask Scott directly if he
He's
is a
on
millionaire.
IMDb.
You're not. Hey, yo, bro. I muted you, right? So please, once again,
How
go
dare
off the
you?
source. How dare you? Ask Scott directly, communist. Your question. Ready?
I need to ask a question. I see it for myself. You're asking me to ask something that I already know about.
Ask no questions. I tell you no lies. You are wrong, communist. You believe the hype. You got it mistaken.
I'm gonna move on, communist. Thank you. That was great to hear from you,
bro.
I'm gonna go to my dear friend. I'm gonna go to my dear friend Randy. Randy, it's a thrill to have you on the stage. Would you like a fresh five to tell us what's on your mind?
Randy, good to see you, even though I'm on my break. Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you, my brother, from another mother. Okay, where do I begin? First of all, Scott, thanks for lending me that $20K. I should have it back to you soon.
Always.
And by the way, Randy, before you ask,
My name is Steve Appel, and I'm taking up the ass.
what? Oh, well, that one I want to talk to, definitely.
Uncle Steve is a power top. We all know that.
Yeah, that's right. But Randy, before you ask, yes, I am a millionaire. I'm not aware if anybody else on the Mod Squad is a millionaire, but before you ask, yes, I am a millionaire. That's it.
Well, I want to say this. If friendship is wealth, and it is, then I'm a multimillionaire because of my great friends, starting with Scott. To be a friend of Scott's is worth $1 million.
Thank you so much, Randy. That's a beautiful thing.
And then you throw in some of the other friends that I have. I'm worth at least eight digits with every day.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think there's anything online that says I'm a millionaire. But
But anyway, we are friends, Scott, for real. Not just clubhouse friends, we're real.
You know what they say, in half hell a day keeps the doctor away.
Okay.
This guy is special.
For the record, that is not a good impression of Steve. Just so you know. I mean, I know you're proud of your impression of Steve, but it's not good. But I'm going to give you my fresh five starting now. Last night, I saw Joe Jackson, the great Joe Jackson, in concert. Yes, he had most of his hits in the 70s and the 80s. Is She Really Going Out With Him? Different for Girls, Stepping Out. And this guy's about 72 years old. His voice, I hope everyone knows who I'm talking about when I say I saw Joe Jackson, because it's a common name. But Joe Jackson is a British hit maker who came up around the same time as Elvis Costello. He was a little overshadowed by Elvis, but he had a lot of big hits on his own. In fact, in his day, he had more hit songs than Elvis Costello. He had more songs on the radio than Elvis. And then he just kind of receded for a while, but he's been making records ever since, and great records. And I saw him at the Beacon Theater last night. Fantastic show. His voice is as good as it ever was. His piano playing is as great as, I forgot how great he was on the piano. It was a 5-piece band. Him, his longtime bassist, Graham Mabey, a guitarist from Long Island, I forgot his name, a drummer, and a percussionist. A 5-piece band. They killed it. It was a great show, about an hour and a half long. They did one cover. They covered a song called Spiders from, Scary Monsters. They covered a David Bowie song called Scary Monsters. And it was a great show. And I just want to say thanks. We bought the tickets the day of the show on StubHub. They were pretty cheap. And it was a great time. So that's one thing that went on. As I've talked about already, Friday night, I saw the movie The Invite. That's, in my opinion, the best movie I've seen this year, with Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Ed Norton, and Penelope Cruz. If I'm speaking too fast, I'm sorry. And that's what's happening this coming week. I'm going to dinner with friends for somebody's birthday Tuesday night. My point is, kids, it's summer. Get out of your house. Enjoy life.
Some things cost money, some things don't cost money. Friday night after the movie, which was cheap, after the movie, I met up with a friend at something called Silent Disco that was free at Lincoln Center. We never even put on our headphones. We just talked for an hour and a half. So you don't have to spend money to have fun. Get out, be outside, meet people, because in the winter you can't do that easily. So I just want to say God bless everybody. God bless America. God bless the people in this room. God bless Israel. What the hell, I'll say it. And I'm grateful. And so the mood of the day is grateful. I'm doing some work today, and I don't mind because I work for myself. Sometimes you have to do work on a Sunday or a Saturday, but that's the price you pay to work for yourself. And I'm grateful, and I just want to say thanks. I'll be here all day. And if anyone has any questions, come correct. Take care.
Thank you so
Randy,
much.
yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
Reverend
babe.
Scott, Violet the Mod Squad. Thank you.
Thank you, babe.
Can I just play us out with 45
Yes, you can.
for
Yes.
hand over? I dedicate this to Randy, my dear friend. Here we go.
Everybody who talks about Israel these days is just so full of shit. I mean, we're just not, I don't want children to die. Duh, who does? None of us want children to die. None of us want this war to go on. But it's not addressing what the problem is. The problem is that one side wants a two-state solution. One side never did and still doesn't. One side uses terrorism to get their goals. One side retaliates against terrorism. One side is accused of genocide but doesn't do it. And the other side actually would love to do it. People keep saying Israel has the right to defend itself. And then whenever Israel does, they object to it.
There you go. That's for my dear friend Randy, and thank you, Uncle Steve. Handing the keys to the jalopy back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is your millionaire Uncle Steve. And yes, it is true. I am a millionaire. Absolutely true. I'm not aware of anybody else on the Mod Squad is a millionaire. I am. Then again, if you too were to own Casa de Appel for almost 25 years and, handled your money and your investments right, you too would be a millionaire. It's not that difficult. And I normally don't talk about it, and I'm normally not asked about it. Now, what is success? Prior to COVID, they said that up to $75,000, money was a direct correlation to happiness. This is no bullshit. Prior to COVID, your happiness was affected by how much money you made between $0 and $75,000 a year. Above $75,000, then arguably there was no effect. Now, since COVID, inflation, the whole ball of wax, I'm going to increase that level to $150,000. So I'm $0 and $150,000 a year has a direct correlation on happiness. But once you go over 150 grand, let's say you make 200, let's say you make 250, let's say you make $500,000, $1 million, 5 million, 100 million, there's no direct correlation between the amount of money you make and happiness or what you consider success. Now, people define success differently. I haven't spoken about it recently, but I've been very consistent about my definition of success. My definition of success is that I can go to Reverend Scott and I could say, Reverend Scott, here's $100. Do whatever you want with it. Have a good time. I can go to Violet and I can say, Violet, here are 2 round-trip tickets for you and your husband to come out to Casa de Appel on a weekend and have a great time. The treat's on me. It's my pleasure. I can send JCC, $500 and say, you know what, thanks for all your support. I realize we've butted heads, but in the long run, you being in my life is better than you not being in my life. That to me is success. It's not how much money you have, but it's what you do with the money and the time that you do have. We've been running the show. We're going into our 6th year now. And I wouldn't say there's been a swinging door or a revolving door in the Mod Squad. People have come, people have gone, people have come back. But in the long run, what I pride myself on is not the fact that I'm a millionaire. It's not the fact how much money I make. It's the fact that I'm consistent. It's the fact that I'm honest, at least to my true beliefs. And the fact that my word is my bond and my bond is my word. You can count on me. We know for a fact that with maybe one exception in 5 or 6 years, the show is here every Saturday and every Sunday from 7 a.m. To 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for a 3-hour tour. It actually used to be 4 hours, and then we cut it back to 3. Leave them wanting more. Yeah, and we've always had basically the same format. It's done for a specific reason. We've always been consistent that you come up and you decide the direction the show is going. We never run clickbait titles, although when we do pop-up rooms and shit like that, of course we do. But on Saturday, it's Ask Uncle Steve. On Sunday, it's Ask the Atheist. But the format of the show is exactly the same. You come on up, you talk about whatever we want, whatever you want, and then we go down that path. And if the stage is filled up, you get 5 minutes. If there's nobody on stage and we like what we're talking about, we'll go 10, 15, or 20 minutes, as evidence today. And we had the gentleman who said he was going to eviscerate yesterday. He was on stage for between 15 and 20 minutes. And then when I said we had to go, he goes, okay, so you're running. And great. I don't run from anybody, at least not on this app. I am open and honest, and I'm accountable for everything that happens. We don't have any new people on stage, so let's go to the Mod Squad. Alfonso, would you like a fresh 5? You probably with, yeah, hey, would you like a fresh 5?
Not at the moment.
And in fact, speaking of success, thank you for reminding me. On my bucket list is to go to Costa Rica. And I'll probably go next year. And I have told Alfonso that when I go, I'm going to offer him a round trip ticket and put him up. Because Alfonso is the founder of the Atheism House. Look, when I first came into this house and I saw what was going on and asked Alfonso for permission to do my own shows, and he said yes. And then when we started doing the shows, he gave me some critiques. Steve, I like this. Steve, I don't like that. We came to a meeting of the minds. I could have started my own house. Well, I did, Casa de Hell. But I could have started my own house and named it something else. But it's like, did any of you ever see, it's on Netflix right now, The Founder with Michael Keaton? It's the story of Roy Kroc, who basically is thought to be the inventor of McDonald's, but in actuality, he's not the inventor of McDonald's, but he definitely is responsible for making McDonald's the worldwide success that it is. He could have taken their idea, the McDonald's idea, and started his own thing. But what they did with the golden arches and the name, he said, you know what, you can't compare to that. And instead he went with it. And basically, I don't want to say he stole it from him, but he made it what it is today. It's the same thing, in my humble opinion, with the Atheism House. I'm not saying the Atheism House is the way it is today because of me, but Alfonso started it. And rather than me just going and doing my own thing, I wanted to partner with him. And I think it's been a very successful partnership. Let's talk about Reverend Scott.
Steve.
Yes. Go ahead. Please comment. Comment. Take a few minutes. Go ahead.
So there's a meeting of free thinkers in Costa Rica that I mentioned on the 21 and 22nd of November that I wanted to attend, but representing Atheist Alliance International the budget is short. So if you're interested, we could both go on those dates.
Let's talk about it off the air. I definitely want to go to Costa Rica because I've never been. I'm not sure if I want to go during that time, but let's talk about it off the air. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You got it. Maybe. Well, in fact, let's just talk right after the show. Sounds good. We'll talk about me and JCC. Me and JCC have butted heads throughout the past couple of years. Me and JCC have arguably, we've had arguments and disagreements, but in the long run, I know that I believe that without question, the show is better with JCC than without JCC. Now, I don't know what JCC thinks about me, but he still comes back. JCC, any thoughts? Want to talk about what a dickhead I am or what?
Steve, I appreciate all the accolades and kind words you have uttered, and I do hold it with utmost my participation in your room/shows, and I tagged myself, not only the grill master.
Yes.
I have to say I'm the Steve Tamer.
I love that.
On occasion, I'll say, Steve, dude, out of that. So, yeah.
Hey, how do I respond then? How do I respond?
You go, thank you, and you do. And
absolutely.
Not only myself, but other mod squatters do it as well, and you do it here, and you recognize, like, yeah, you get a little amped up, and you get excited. So, yeah, it's awesome. And, yeah, we have butted heads, and I am happy that we can be adults about it and resolve our issues. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was also JCC who put his money where his mouth is, because when we were butting heads a little while ago, he said, hey, act like a man, call me up privately, and, well, in a manner of speaking, say it to my face. And I did. And I think that gained a little bit more respect. But if we ever have a problem, like I said, the entire Mod Squad has my cell phone. Then we come to Violet. I love Violet being on the show. Corey used to be here. Cora drops in, but Violet has been more consistent lately. Corey used to be more consistent. There are other reasons, and I love Cora. But Violet's contributions to the show are immeasurable, and amongst others, without question, black and white, no gray, the following is Violet's greatest contribution to the show.
Wanna share your point of view and a little about what's bothering you. Got a question that's on your mind? Be bold, brave, courageous. Come on up and get your fresh fire. What does that mean? Well, listen up. Have a take and just don't suck. Be respectful, make your point in a reasonable way. Come on up.
That's Uncle Steve today. Now, Violet, I suspect that when you put that piece together and made that, you never in your wildest dreams thought I would play it as often and regularly, religiously as I do. Am I correct or am I mistaken?
You are correct, Steve. Like I told you the morning I sent it to you, I woke up unusually early before the show and started having these little thoughts about a theme song for you. So I just went ahead and worked with it for a little bit. And then when I sent it to you, I thought this might make you smile. I just wanted to share it with you. And so when you played it that day, I just was blown away. I was like, oh my God, I did it. I was really excited and so glad that you liked it that much.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, prior to that, we were doing, different, we were doing different things. And when I heard that, I go, that's it. And we've been playing that theme song since then. So, in addition to the song, thank you for coming on here religiously, pardon the pun. Thank you for your contributions. There's no question that the show is better with you than without you. And then, of course, there's
Well, wait a second,
yes.
Steve. I wanted to say,
Please.
I want to thank you. I found you on your show when I first started on this app, and I was very, very unsure as to whether I would fit in anywhere. If I had anything of interest to say to anybody with my life being somewhat average, which, I know there's nothing wrong with that, but I also felt very insecure. So when you asked me to join your mod squad, that helped my confidence in myself and helped me realize that I might have more to contribute than I was giving myself credit for. And that was because of you and your show and your mod squad. And I will appreciate that for no matter how long Clubhouse lasts or how long. I mean, I'm going to remember that forever. So
it's my pleasure, and hopefully it gave you enough confidence when you started your own house show. Bring a banger or something like that.
Well, yes, it was. I mean, Bert and I did that together. It was a collaboration with him, but learning from you gave me the skills I needed to be good in that room too. So it's great, Steve. I love being here, and you're my favorite place. This is my favorite place to be on Saturdays and Sundays, and I love you, and I love the Mod Squad, and I love your show.
You too. Then there's Daryl, one of the more recent members of the Mod Squad earlier in the year. And in fact, I don't know if Daryl's spoken today, but he's our financial guru, our financial expert. By the way, Daryl, are you there? Unmute if you are.
I am here.
And I know that I went against your advice, buddy. I went against his advice.
StockX, right?
It's SpaceX, that's correct.
SpaceX, sorry.
For those of you that don't know, Elon Musk SpaceX opened for commercial institutions at 1:35. A couple of hours later, it quickly went from 150 to 165. Nobody like me could buy it at less than 165. It went up to 205. Then it started going down. Daryl said, wait till it gets to about 125 or something like that, where it closed on Friday. I bought it 2 days earlier at the 135, 136 level. So I listened to your advice, but I kind of...
You just said screw that guy, right?
And, one rule we've always had on the Mod Squad, come and go as you please, no harm. I'm prepared to, if people want to hear me read fucking news for 3 hours, I will. But I'm always prepared because we have a 5-second rule that we don't talk about. But Daryl's presence has always been welcome. And Daryl, we appreciate you being on the Mod Squad.
Thank you, sir. So SpaceX is a hold position, right? So yeah, you got it at 130.
135.
135. I actually think it might dip as low as 121.
Yeah.
But I do think if you hold it, I don't know if you're like a day trader or anything like that. I think if you hold on,
I am not. No.
Just hold on to it.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. They broke the rules so that it could get into the S&P 100, which means it's going to sit on books. I really do feel for the people who got in at the highest high, and some of those, people, quote unquote, were managed 401k accounts and pension funds, and some are not looking at their quarterly statements smiling anymore. But if you sit and hold it, it should rebound to 150 February. February maybe. News brings stock rises, right? So now there's really nothing to talk about. So the hype is over. Now you actually have to see how the company performs, and that's just fundamental analysis. You just have to see what they do.
Yeah, I'm not a day trader. In fact, it was my brother-in-law who knows almost as much as you, and he says, look, when you're looking at stocks, don't treat it like going up and going down. Treat it as your car, or treat it as your home. You're not looking at the value of your car or your value of your home every day. You buy it, and you might check the value, a couple of times a year, but use it and have fun with it. And I'm no day trader. In fact, I'm extremely conservative. Thank you very much. And did you want something else? Go ahead.
Yeah, just some stuff on the economy, not so great. So foreclosures are 30% higher than they were 2 years ago. Student loan debt has doubled. Student loan delinquency, have doubled. Medical delinquencies have doubled. Credit card delinquencies have doubled. And credit cards, there was a report that somewhere like 87, 88% of people who actually own credit cards are within 10% of their credit limit. And so some of this doesn't bode well, and they're trying to model out what this means. But those are just some notes on the economy.
Thank you. And Tanya, I see we'll get to you in a couple of minutes. And last but not least, of course, is Reverend Scott. Reverend, are you there? And Reverend, are you there? Well, there we go. Okay, so, what can I say about Reverend Scott?
What can you say? That's the question.
I'll tell you this, Reverend Scott co-hosts the show here on Saturday and Sunday, and then he co-hosts Gary's show, The Critical Thinking, Monday through Friday. Gary doesn't come here pretty much. I don't go there pretty much. And what Reverend Scott did is what I advise all people that are getting into broadcasting, podcasting, having your voice heard. You take the best of what you learn from other people and incorporate it into your own style. And that's what Reverend Scott has done. He has taken the best from me. He has taken the best from Gary. And then he does his own podcast, and he does it his way. But he learned from us and then molded it into his own style. And that is the same advice that I give everybody else. And once again, just like all the other Mod Squad, Reverend, the show is better with you than without you. Any thoughts before we go to Tanya?
Well, thank you, Steve. That's great. I appreciate it. I love the show. What you and Gary have shown me that I still don't emulate is consistency. I mean, you guys are available at the same time, same place every week. I'm more of a sort of spontaneous pop-up guy, but I do, I've been podcasting for years. I got into Clubhouse originally with another friend who thought we might use it as a podcasting platform, and I did not like it for that function. But I did not expect to like Clubhouse as much as I did. It's become something that is a regular part of who I am, and I love it. And I love being here on the weekend, Steve. It's super fun, and I think we've got a great thing. I'll probably pop a room open today too, just to for shits and giggles, as they say. So look for me, everybody, and it's great.
And I will probably be there. And if you're in the audience, maybe we can accommodate one more person because we're ending in minutes. But Tanya is here. Tanya, good morning. What a pleasure to see you 2 days in a row. Hi, what would you like to talk about?
I know. So I know that the show today sometimes turned into a compliment department, so I would like to give some final thoughts for the compliment department.
Please do. Thank you.
Okay. You and the mods are pretty much the only reason I get on Clubhouse on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm never on it other than that. And if I'm not on stage, I'm listening because it's entertaining, it's thought-provoking, and it also gives me an ability to improve my public speaking because I am, according to the MBTI, 100% introvert. So this provides me an opportunity to have a voice and speak. I'm similar to Violet, where I don't have a lot of self-esteem. So I appreciate the opportunity. I've always found both of your shows that you're passionate about what you talk about, and the other mods are too. And you're always respectful, and I love the fact that there are different personalities here that enhance every conversation. So I just wanted to put that out there. change the complaints to compliments, and say thank you for everything you and the mods do.
Thank you, Tanya. Steve, you're not coming to.
There we go. The 5-second rule. Thank you. I didn't push the button. Tanya, thank you very much. Appreciate that. You're going to get the very first class escort down the red carpet to the VIP. Thank you very much. With that, let's go ahead and say goodbye to Andrew, our good neighbor to the north. Andrew, would you like to say goodbye?
Okay, thanks for the room today. Really appreciate it. I'd just like to put a little plug in for Joe Jackson. Awesome artist. If you really, he did an album called Jump and Jive, which was a total departure of what he was doing. But it's an awesome album. I recommend it to anybody if you like some of the older tunes that he remade onto that album. In fact, it was the first time I'd heard some of them before I heard the originals. So it's a fantastic album. So I recommend it highly. That's it. Have a good one.
Thank you, Andrew. First class escort down the red carpet to the VIP. Let's say goodbye to Alma. Alma, would you like to say goodbye? Alma going once. Alma going twice. Okay, we'll come back. Somebody wants to come up. I'm going to invite him because he's here all the time but doesn't normally speak. Hang on a second. Let's see if he's there. If that was just a mistake. And
Steve,
yeah,
I'll just say something.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can say goodbye, communist. Go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted Scott. Okay, so do you have a literary agency? You can let them know about my screenplays because I was just like.
So you insult him for being a liar, and now you want his help.
I mean, because you never told nobody told anybody he was a millionaire.
Well, you never asked, and you still haven't asked.
Holy cow, dude, he's not.
Tell you what, you don't have to ask. Reverend Scott is not a millionaire. You got him mixed up.
IMDb. He has credits.
Reverend Scott, are you a millionaire?
Not yet. Look at Mr.
Do you want to answer the question if you're a millionaire?
This is interesting content, Steve.
It's
He's
bizarre.
simple, which is funny.
Are you also involved in screens, in films?
No, I do.
You
have a film credit in a documentary as a sort of researcher. Yeah, but
would you have the capacity to help somebody in the film industry?
No.
Okay. Communist, you are completely mistaken.
Well, Steve, since would you care to fund me some of your investments?
No, because all you've done for the past couple of months is complain about me and my show and accuse me of being a liar. No, I don't want to fund you at all. No. Now that that's been said, would you like to say goodbye? Okay. And he left on his own. Yeah, no. You come on the show for 3 months. You complain about the way we do the show. You accuse me and my mod squad of being liars, and then you ask for our help. I understand, communist, that you are, and I'm going to paraphrase, mentally challenged. I get that. But that's not the way the world works. You don't barrage people with negativity, accuse them of being liars, tell them they're going to lose 200 listeners if they don't do it your way, and then you ask for financial help. That's not the way it's not the way life works. Alma, would you like to say goodbye? Alma going once. Alma going twice. We'll come back. El Normo, thank you for your contributions today. Would you like to say goodbye?
yes, indeed, I would, and you're welcome, and thank you.
You're welcome.
That was fun and funny.
I have seen the kind of behavior we just saw before. I will draw an analogy to the Palestinians who relentlessly attack their neighbors and then stick their hands out and ask for money that they can use to buy stuff with which to attack their neighbors and then complain that they are victims. Please forgive my partisanship. But on the other hand, we can say anything we want on the stage, and I don't demand or require or even request anybody agree with me, but I thought I'd get that out of my system. I am thinking about my latest ideas, and my belief is that Palestinianism for the Democratic Party is the new transgenderism, which is the new climate change obsession. The idea that preventing people from buying good dishwashers or clothing dryers will change climate is nuts. By the way, this sort of weird effort at social control was in view during the pandemic. Yes, take measures to protect public health. No, closing the schools for 18 months is not a good idea. It's very bad. It's a very bad idea. Trying to attack Jews and exclude them from the Venice Biennale, which happened, and various other museum shows, and from food co-ops, and from the city councils of little towns in upstate New York and elsewhere, will not bring peace to the Middle East. It's crazy. And telling little boys that they can get pregnant will not help them in any way. These are all crazy ideas from my party, the Democratic Party. I, like Will Rogers, do not belong to any organized political party. I'm a Democrat. And with that, Steve, I want to say that your rooms, for some reason, Steve, that I don't understand, get better and better every week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess I'll end it there. I'll end it on that positive. And I'm not trying to glazing up love. But I mean it. It's just I feel like the conversations get better, you get funnier, and your patience is a thing of wonder with your interlocutors.
You're very kind. Thank you. First class escort to the VIP. One of the reasons why I do this is because it does improve my patience. And then when I go into my day job, like dealing with other lawyers and doctors and judges, I have real patience there, you know. But last chance for Alma. Alma, would you like to say goodbye? Alma going once, Alma going twice. Alma gets a stretcher ride from the entire Mod Squad down the red carpet to the VIP. And let's say goodbye to Alfonso. Alfonso, would you like to say goodbye? Alfonso going once. Yeah.
Yeah, back for the show. I'll see you guys next week.
You got it, buddy. Let's go to Daryl. Daryl, would you like to say goodbye?
I would. And Uncle Steve, you said something. So I was actually in your neck of the woods all week. I got back at 3 a.m., so that's why my voice sounds like this. But I had lunch over in Sherman Oaks with a friend.
I'm right by there.
I will be in Sherman Oaks. Also, have you been to Rendition?
Yeah, where is it?
It's a speakeasy in Sherman Oaks. You would like it. I think you would like the speakeasy.
I have not been to that specific business, but maybe that business was named something else a few years ago before the pandemic, and so I might have been to that building, but no, I have not been to that business, no.
Possibly. So it's interesting because some of us were talking, and we all just kept hyping on how, success is maybe 10% what you do, and it's 90% who you know. And I say that because of the communist guy. Because if he were like of better character, he probably would meet more people, but I don't think people actually want to talk to him. That's a problem,
Yes. Well, again, I'm paraphrasing, but he's admitted before he's mentally challenged, and he doesn't have any experience in the entertainment business, so.
talk through someone else.
Yeah.
That's it.
The way to get along. Well, no, let me rephrase. No, the best way to develop a circle of friends and or business partners is to emphasize the positive and minimize, if not eliminate, the negative. That's why I've constantly stressed on the show throughout the years that the Mod Squad, we air our dirty laundry privately, not in public. If we've got something bad to say about another Mod Squatter, we don't do it on the show. I mean, when was the last time you, and again, this show is kind of designed after a radio show. Think to any radio show that you listen. When do the people on the show negatively criticize each other? Never. That's why when you get to TMZ or you read about the infighting, within people on a show, a radio show, TV show, it's always done off the air. That's what we stress. Violet, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah. Success is like when you were talking about what connects you to us and what that would let you put your resources toward because you trust us and you care about us. That's success to me. The people in my life are, don't get me wrong, I wish I had more money, but honestly, the connections I make with people in life are what make me feel successful, that I have a purpose to be here, and that is to, be in a community of several communities. So I consider being on your show a success every time, and I love being here. I hope everybody has a great week, and bye for now, everybody.
You can ask any reasonable businessman, not all, but a lot. And if you ask them what is their best investment, they will say the people that they work with, the people that they partner with, and the people that they hire. That is your best investment. Let's go to JCC, the Grill Master. Great. I love that title. Would you like to say goodbye?
Of course, Steve. Great room, great show. We had some good discussions. We had some good banter back and forth. We had some interesting content, and an argument from organized universe. Therefore, an intelligent being must exist. However, there's argument against that, and that could be discussed later on with more people that want to hear the argument. But no, once again, I enjoy being here, and thanks for keeping this going on 6 years now.
Yes.
And that's quite awesome. Looking forward to next week as well, and to that, I bid everybody happy trails until we meet again. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
And last but not least, the XO, Reverend Scott, who may be running a pop-up room later. Reverend Scott, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, Uncle Steve, I do. It's always great to be here. That was interesting. I do think that, to JCC's point, I think oftentimes both the theists and the atheists that come on here are a lot more confident of their arguments than maybe is warranted. I think that, look, the world's a messy place. I think to a lot of people, it looks purposeful and like there's meaning and it must be designed. I think to a lot of people, it looks chaotic and cruel and red and claw. I think both of these are really reasonable approaches to a world as complex as ours. And I think we ought to engage. You have never thought about their beliefs. Most people have thought about them quite a come on here. So thanks and goodbye, and I will see everybody hopefully next weekend, maybe even today if I pop up in a room.
Last but not least, Marshall, I haven't heard from you all day. I don't know if you spoke, but Marshall, would you like to say hello and goodbye?
Hello, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. And with that, y'all, we are done. Great show. Without question, better with you than without you. On behalf of the Mod Squad, we wish you and your families a great remainder of your weekend. We will be back, as always, next Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, And next Sunday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, for another 3-hour tour. And we'll close it with this. A lot's been made about consistency. And yes, we have been extremely consistent that we are basically here every Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Sunday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We make small little changes and corrections based on what everybody wants. And yes, you can send me a back channel. I not only read them all, I respond to them all. But it's not only about consistency. It's not only about honesty. It's not only about critical thinking by osmosis. It's not only about the 3 hours. It's what happens in the 3 hours. Take care, everybody. Be careful on the clubhouse streets.
Hey, come on in, Jim. Get dressed. I was at the hotel. They told me you took the night off. They was sick or something.
Of course I took the night off. Tell me. This is the night you wrestle shoot?
Took the night off for that.
Yeah. Shave, got a haircut and everything.
You never took a night off to see me wrestle before. I'll dock you for that.
Hey kid, money ain't everything.
You know, it's not that big a deal no more. I mean, it's 6 lousy minutes on the mat, it's that.
Ever hear of Pele?
Yeah, he's a soccer player.
Very famous soccer player. There's a room here one day. I'm watching the Mexican channel on TV. I don't know nothing about Pele. I'm watching what this guy can do with a ball on his feet. Next thing I know, he jumps up in the air and flips into a somersault. Kicks the ball in upside down and backwards. The goddamn ball never knew what the fuck hit him. Pele gets excited. He rips off his jersey, starts running around the stadium, waving around it over his head. Everybody's screaming in Spanish. I'm here sitting alone in my room. I start crying. Yeah, that's right, I start crying. There's another human being, species, which I have to. The rest of us sad-ass human beings have to a better place to be, if only for a minute. Let me tell you, kid, it was pretty goddamn glorious. It ain't the 6 minutes. It's what happens in that 6 minutes.
Bombadita, 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 happy trails to you. Bombadita, bombadita, who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny happy trails to you. Till we meet
go to the same destination as your fiance for the bachelor slash bachelor weekend, whatever. So like, no, I don't know, it's just this thing. Like rich people, they like, we're going on an island. The men have their own villa. The women have their own. The work separately. They do something together.
This shit sound like something like love. This shit sound like something like Love Island shit.
That is not Love Island, please. I talked to my green card. He said it's correct. It's just for the kids cross race. It's just what young people are doing now when they have joint bachelor and bachelor parties and they do separate days together, they do things together. It's just what they do now. But the upper ones especially. Because that's just what they want to do. That's the new info thing to do. If you are an adultly mobile young person and you are about to get married, the info thing to do is for you to get your bachelorette team together, he gets his bachelor party together, you all go to a particular destination, you will do things together, you don't do things separately, you know, 9 times out of 10 be in the same locale. So the girls like going to Nashville. Some of them will be joint in Nashville, it might be joint in Vegas, it might be joint in the islands. Some people still do the traditional separate bachelorette and bachelor parties, but the new info thing to do for some of these people is to do the joint ones.
Yeah, it seems like it just doesn't matter to me when I say the gender of the person. Not just there's no gender is gone. This is incentive.
They want to make sure that Ken and Trevor ain't showing up. They want to watch John and John knows how to bully that. I mean, this is me. I could be wrong. And when that guy can feel the same way, they don't want the fireman showing up and somebody saying,
like it's really hot. You might do something together, but some things are still separate, so those things still can't go on. I know a person that did because they said that his friends, they don't share their things. His wife goes to church and eat and talk. And her friends had never been to this. And so when we did it together, it became a better trip.
It's like the best man.
It was fun. It was fun. No,
understand, like, and this is exactly the problem with young men. I mean, it's what you expect. They're not men. I mean, all your gender roles, misogyny, patriarchy, even plan a restaurant film, booze film, stripper, or show, or you get my friends. We really want to go see this opera at Wolf Trap. Like, if you know what you and your boys like, you're one of two things. You're either dumb or you're really dumb. And so you're telling me that men get engaged and their friends cannot plan their own bachelor parties. That means Rob and Scott, they probably don't put their clothes in the hamper. They don't know to feed the dog. They don't take their cars to get service. It sounds like children. And these are the men that you women are not only putting inside your mouth, you're putting them inside other cavities all through the holes, as you like to say. You marry with them, you parent with them, you defend them, you bail them out, you buy the PlayStation 5s, and you go on and on and on and on and on. This is pathetic. You're going to get engaged to a man whose best friend can plan, what do you plan? We can have restaurant food and look at titties. I'm telling you, and it's if you can't plan that, then how do you plan anything to do this and grandchildren? How are you going to plan? You have to be a leader. Like, I could be a leader. Like, I can plan. And the strip club isn't right here in Atlanta. So imagine you're like, don't worry, babe, I got it. I'm putting the kids $5.29 on automatic deposit. The child turns 17. All right, babe, you're doing the FAFSA. Okay, then how much money in the $5.29? Because you got in the spell. We're going to send the baby a spell. Remember when she was finished her, how much money we got in there? And like, I'm outside a little late, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to catch up, right? So she got about $1,824 and 40%. The party on his own. Does he know all 7 comments? Does he? No.
Yeah, go ahead, go shop.
I actually brought a cute crop top the other day.
How many views on Israel Palestine debate?
In one perspective, because it's multi-layered, it's very complicated.
Yes, it is complicated. Yes. Thankfully, I'm not 100% pro-Israel. I think the government and IDF, and I'm not 100% with Palestine. But many people, most people are looking at let me ask you a question. Do you think the citizen of a country should face anything negative from the actions of a government or military?
Wait, citizens of a country?
Yeah, which country are you from, sir?
The United States.
Okay, let's say Trump came in order to nuke Iran, for example, right? Do you think he was an individual? Do you think you should have blame on him as an individual?
Well, the decisions of a leader are the decisions of a leader. And the accountability is based on the voters. The voters decide the judgment of that leader in a democratic society.
Yes. Okay. So did you vote for Trump?
The first time, yes, I did. I did not get a chance to vote on the second turn around because I was very busy with some things in my life that happened. But I would have voted for Trump again the second time. I'm a Trump loyalist.
Okay. You're a Trump loyalist?
Yes, I would through.
So also, what did you say? What did you say, Sam? Did you say that citizens of a country should be held liable?
You said that.
No, I'm asking the question.
Yes, so now I'm raising this question. It's you start your comment by saying you said you don't say that. So you're posing as a question to me, yes?
Yeah, I'm just asking a question, please.
Yes, that's reference. If the leader is, at the end of the day, we go to the voting, we have midterms and we have general elections. If the folks of the country feel that the leader is so-and-so's, then they can vote the person they want.
Okay, I understand that part. Okay, if Trump dropped a nuclear bomb in Iran, right, and killed millions of people, right? Are you guilty of the citizens of the United States of America? Guilty too.
Well, Trump would never do such a thing. You don't use a nuclear weapon as an offense. It's not made that way. It's
Okay, you haven't answered my question at all.
the citizens, I don't know, the citizens are not liable. Whatever the citizens want, they're not the ones that make the order.
Okay, good, I agree with you. What do you think about people in countries, citizens of countries, having, let's say, somebody who lives in Russia, a citizen, facing consequences, let's say certain claims, that but they're not allowed to let fly, Russian flag, for example. The answer is, first,
No, sir, you're talking about a flag. What did you mention?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, on the US Open, for example. So you can play the US Open in Flushing Meadow, US Open, Russian play, but they can't have that flag. They can't have that flag connected.
I'm not well versed in that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, thanks, Corey. Okay. Dr. Sama, thanks for coming up. Yes, sorry about the other room. I appreciate you bringing me back.
clothes clothing, but I do not tolerate violence. These old defensive. Yes, sir. You know, reparations. You know, reparation to show you all the money. Hello, Senator. How are you doing? Is it you, Korean? I'm good, thank you. I'm just asking a question. The people don't seem to want to answer for some reason. I'm just asking. Let's say if Trump, Trump, let's say Trump's conventional weapons, his conventional weapons on Tehran, and let's say it was considerable enough to wipe out 90% of civilians in Tehran, right? Now, do people in the United States of America, citizens, civilians, are they guilty of that? Yes, they are fucking guilty. They're fucking guilty. Yes. Because, let me tell you why they are guilty as fucking hell. Because most of them were either willing to or they were trying to fucking fall before the car and shoot down. And then police innocent people that have nothing to do with it. So they are fucking guilty as fucking guilty. Yes. Shut your bitch ass up for this man drop down. Bitch ass. Yeah, I think people in America are very guilty. It's not all people in America, and there are a lot of people in America who are brainwashed into thinking that all people in Iran I love you. I love you so much. There are people in America that think that all people in Iran love the fucking Islamic regime and they're living in there. That's not true. So they don't feel sorry for them being killed. Yeah, they cannot feel sorry for the Muslim people being killed because they think they are terrorists as well. But no, it's not true. A lot of people, especially women, they dislike that regime. They don't want the regime to fall under the Islam. So no, we should all and first of all, I don't think America should hide their business. I think Europe should fix it from the inside out. And we have seen before, America has done nothing with it. We have all the countries inside and out of places. Yeah, Europe is not doing anything. Europe are also against this. Yes, I know they don't have a theory when the government comes back with that, but they don't look at the view of the Iranian people as being terrorists and people, and it's not true. A lot of them, most of them are against the Islamic regime as well. That's what the American people don't realize, and the government doesn't even know for that. Alright? That's what they decide to believe. It's not the government that does it. They do believe that a lot of these Iranian people are for this regime, but it's not true. A lot of them are against it as well. So it's not on the government, it's on the people who believe as well too. I disagree with you. I think the understanding is that the Iranian people hate their government and want to be liberated. That's what I believe, yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying, bro. I think Americans understand that. No, they don't want to be involved. I don't think a lot of Americans understand. The thing is what I'm trying to say, right? America is America is attacking Iran in hopes of
letting that regime falling down, right? Innocent people that are also against that regime are dying because of the attacks that America is doing against that Iranian regime. Say it's actually something I just heard in the news. I think it was, I don't know which country it was anymore. I think, what's it called? I don't know, I forgot the name. Anyway, on the news, right? And they say, oh, 2 American soldiers died during an attack. Yeah, Jordan, yeah, thank you. During an attack, right? Two American soldiers died. And what about all the other innocent civilians that are also against that terroristic regime that they're living under that died? Why do we only hear about only 2 American soldiers that died?
Well, that's what America's interested in. I mean, they talk about the schoolgirls all the time.
Yeah, that's what America's interested in. But why do we in Europe hear about them also alone, about these 2 American soldiers? And I'm not even in America. This is also
I tell you why. It's what about the news media.
It's basically run better than the I think it's the same thing, Fatima. I agree with some of the things that you're saying. I said this the other day. It's kind of like if 50 people were killed or 100 people are killed in a suicide bomb in Afghanistan, it hardly makes any news. But if five Americans are killed in Paris, for example, it's major breaking news.
Yes,
I think it's,
like all hell would like if something happened like that in like European or American ground, all hell would break loose. But when you hear it happening in the Middle East, nobody cares. You don't even hear about it because they don't let it out in the mainstream media.
Yeah, I think that's true. And even if it is in the media, I don't think people will care about it.
I care about those voiceless people, those people that have no identity, no voice, that are against that regime that they're living under. I think we should think about them too.
I think it's not about like feelings and what. I think that the report is for better understanding what will happen, and when America loses soldiers, it might change the way that they change the perception of those countries. So just so you know.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, Daniel, because the thing with Israel, right? I don't hear a lot about Israeli soldiers dying as well. That's the thing.
You don't. We do.
No, yeah, you do. I know you do, but in general, worldwide.
Yeah, but this is part of the idea. You never hear about the civilians dying in Israel. You don't hear about the terror attacks. You hear everything that is going on in Gaza.
Yes, I agree with that.
This is how it is.
And I think that's sad. I think it's very sad that there's so much hatred towards Israeli soldiers, towards other innocent civilians, against those Islamic evil regimes. And I think we should a little bit think about those voiceless people, just for a moment. Like, what they do, like, everybody that doesn't make the mainstream media, like your Israeli soldiers, like the ones that are against the Islamic regimes, dying from it, those innocent voiceless people, yes.
I mean, even if you hear about soldiers, Israeli soldiers that are dying, they will legitimize it. Part of the thing that, even on 7th of October, when they killed like 1,200 people, they said that about, 300, 400, whatever were soldiers, which is nonsense. Like, yes, they were soldiers, but they were at a party, and to call them as soldiers, it's disgraceful. Yes, they were like people that were 19, 20-year-old in a party. They were during their military service, but to call them as soldiers, I think it's giving a break for the Hamas. They didn't fight anyone. They just executed those children.
Yes, I get what you're saying. I think the media is very dangerous. The media. The media is a very dangerous weapon to use. Feel for and to not feel for. The media does that. The media.
I think we're on the same page here, Fatima. Yes. Why is it that if 100 people in Afghanistan are killed in a suicide bombing, or 5 Americans are killed in Paris, or 5,
I don't know.
Why is it
being killed instead of like unimportant like the Middle East or Africa? They make these places in Africa, in the Middle East, Asia, everywhere. They make these people hate us. They make these people hate America. They make these people hate Europe. It's what they do. It's just, and then they come here and they have so much hatred towards this place or America. That's what they always say, right? That to America, it's all because of the media. The media is like showing only the deaths of the American people, and then the Middle Eastern people or the African people, they all start to hate America and Europe for it. Because they are not getting recognition for their own people dying. Because of that evil regime, that disgusting, filthy, Islamic, pedophilic regime.
Wasn't this room, the title was, Can Arabs Live Peacefully with Israel?
Arabs can live peacefully with Jews, yes, but Muslims cannot live peacefully with Jews. There's a difference.
No, I'm not talking about the subjective opinion. I'm talking about the room. Wasn't the title of this room before was Can Arabs?
No, that was Dr. Osama's room earlier.
Oh, where'd he go? Did they kick me out of there? I don't know. Is it still on?
No, I think it ended.
Oh, wow, man. My phone died when it was getting good.
I guess it was just Ambrose. It was just Ambrose talking.
So what is the discussion here? What's the discussion here?
Ambrose never answers my question. I was just asking people, do citizens of a country, are they to blame for the actions of the government or military?
No, of course not. I don't blame the citizens of Israel for the atrocities that their government is doing. Same as I wouldn't judge the Americans, citizens, because I'm American. I wouldn't judge my fellow Americans for what our government is doing. Our government does shit to us. It's MK Ultra, so many other projects they tested on our own people, here in America. So all governments is shit, right?
Yeah. Well, is it? You're in the U.S., right?
Yeah, I'm in the U.S.
Okay, that answer, I agree with the answer that you gave. How about Americans wearing a T-shirt with a USA flag on it, or having a USA flag on the doorpost? Is that okay?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? They're happy about their country.
Yeah, right. So, and even if the government did something bad, it's still okay to have their flag on the doorpost, right?
Yeah. Listen, it takes time for a country to get back to, or any country to be normalized. It takes time, So Israel is a new country. It's gonna take time.
Yeah. Well, wherever I go, if I have an Israeli flag on my picture or in my bio, TikTok, Stereo, Clubhouse, YouTube, whatever it is, just having that flag, Israeli flag, opens me up for intense verbal abuse of me and my family.
I understand, brother, but you have to understand what's going on. That's why. Listen, I'm Egyptian. I don't agree that. Well, it's hard to say because you guys you're stuck in a position where you don't want to be, right? Because they put you in that position. Hamas, right? Fighting.
Not just Hamas.
Yeah, Iran too.
Why don't you get the whole thing? It's from the FNP, PIJ. What don't you agree with?
I don't agree of bombing of the kids. So
who's bombing kids?
So you know that there's kids dying every day, right? So
no, I know that there are kids that are dying in any war in history.
Unfortunately.
Yes, brother, I agree with you. Listen, I understand that, but
no, but I'm asking you, don't you agree with what Israel is doing? Like, he's dying is not because of Israel, it's because of Hamas.
I'm not like I don't like the reason why I don't agree with Israel's like doings is because they're not sending their troops inside to they're just throwing bombs instead of
that's not true. Our troops are completely inside.
Palestine is decimated. It's a graveyard.
No, hold on. IDF soldiers are in Gaza, deep in Gaza, on foot, and if we didn't care for the civilians, we would just bomb it from the air. The fact that we lost almost 1,000 soldiers is because we went in with our troops inside Gaza. So I'm really trying to ask again, what is it that you don't agree with? Like, yes, what is over? What bombing? So you don't agree with bombing?
Hold on. So you're saying that there's no buildings, there's no houses, residential houses are being bombed?
Of course you are. What do you mean? No. Let me ask you differently. Are there buildings that are not residential? Let me ask you differently. Is there a Hamas?
You just admitted.
No, I'm asking you. No, you're missing the point. Are there bases in Gaza or everything is residential? One second, give me a second.
I sympathize with you guys even more than the Palestinians, believe it or not, even though I don't want to really admit it. And the reason why being is because, see, when we fought, the Egyptians and Israelis, when we fought man to man.
I understand.
Yeah, but we didn't hide behind our women. We didn't hide under the line.
Exactly. But what happens? One second, dude. Can I have a conversation with you? Like you are very hyper. I'm trying to get to a point with you. What happens if your enemy does not have bases? He's using residential buildings, he's using hospitals and using schools. What do you do then? Because that's the situation.
I'm trying to tell you. So that's why I disagree. Instead of bombing them, go in and infiltrate and go underneath and go fight them.
We're doing that. We don't fight them. We are doing this.
No,
we are doing this.
We are. We're on the ground.
One second, no. Every time that we bomb a place, we evacuate it first. When we evacuate, by the way, we are the only army that is doing it, because if you know anything about warfare, it's the element of surprise. When we are saying we're going to bomb this place, then obviously also Hamas will go and leave. But I'm trying again to understand what is the problem with what Israel is doing. You're saying bombing. Bombing is part of war, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree that you guys, I know that you guys tell them, hey, listen, we're going to bomb us, and they don't want to get out. I understand that they're hard-headed, right? They're like, we're not going to leave. Okay, so
I don't care about that in history to minimize the civilian casualties while they're doing everything in their power to maximize it. There will never be zero. So again, I'm asking you, why don't you agree with what Israel is doing?
I agree what's happening. I agree that they're hiding behind, their kids and their women, and they're not fighting man to man. I agree with you, okay? But just because they're doing that doesn't mean you should do that. Even though you called them and say, hey, listen, a lot of countries won't do that. I agree. America won't do that. America will call their enemy and say, hey, you better leave this place. We're about to bomb.
No, we'll do it 2 hours.
But I don't think why do that.
What would you do differently? I
would go and tell all the people in Palestine, listen, come here, stay here, and go and infiltrate.
This is what we did. This is literally what we did. I'm asking you, now I'm trying to understand, you are saying that you don't agree with what we're doing, but you will do exactly what we're doing. So let's say that you would be the Prime Minister of Israel. In the days of October, you had an invasion of thousands of Gazans went into Israel, doing awful things and kidnapping 250 people, including children and babies. And I'm asking you, what do you do? So I'm asking you, it was just a setup. So I hear a lot of criticism, Israel is doing this. I'm really looking to hear, what would you do?
I'm telling you, that's what I would do. I would tell all the people to leave their houses. Come here,
but this is what we did.
No,
you guys didn't do it publicly. You guys, of course we did. We did it in the most intense way. I haven't seen Netanyahu say, hey, please, all Netanyahu, please move, because you're talking, hold on, you're talking about propaganda. I'm talking about reality. In reality, we are addressing the Palestinians in Gaza. If Netanyahu goes on TV on CNN, speaks in Hebrew and in English, that is like completely a theater. What we are doing, we are dropping pamphlets, we are calling them, we are sending SMSs. This is what is effective. Do you think that Bibi going on TV, the Palestinians in Gaza would see it? Come on. You're talking about performance. I'm talking about life. Saving lives is actually evacuating the people, which we are doing. But you know what? Just so you know, when we are evacuating population, the media is saying ethnic cleansing, right? Displacement. Yes. And all that. I agree. But this is, I understand and I agree what's happening. I'm not like shying away the fact that they're cowards. Yeah, they're like cockroaches. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, but you're not listening to what we're doing. Like we moved 1.5 million people. Hang on. We moved 1.5 million people out of Rafah because Rafah's on the border. We moved them out and put them in humanitarian camps. That's exactly what you said we should do. That's exactly what we did.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way,
hey, aren't you guys bombing the refugee camps as well?
No.
So why?
What?
Listen, I'm not giving you that line. No, hold on. We are putting them refugee camps, and then Hamas is using those refugee camps for them to launch a rocket. Then we would target that specific place where they launch a rocket, not indiscriminately. So, but the problem is that yes, Hamas is using all those places exactly for public perception. Okay, so you see what you just said? Hamas. Wait, hold on. If there are rockets firing at us, what do you want us to say? Okay, we will just let them keep it up. Brother, I heard what you said. Can you hear me? Hello?
Everybody can hear you. We did exactly what you suggested.
No,
we evacuated. Hang on, you said evacuate. We did it. We evacuated.
Are you? But okay, he just admitted that they are shooting rockets from the refugee camps, right?
Right.
Okay, so why is this happening? Because you guys are not.
Why are they shooting rockets from a refugee camp? That's their decision.
No, see, this is where I'm trying to tell you. When you know that Hamas is basically terrorizing their own people, yeah.
Right.
You should have the IDF securing the refugees. They shouldn't leave the refugees by themselves. They should be there securing.
We are there. We are there.
No, they're not. Because they
are there.
Hold on.
You're incorrect. You're mistaken.
Brother. Let me give you my point across. If they were
getting your point, we did what you said we should do. You said we should get slow down. I want to just make a few things clear. Number one, you said we should be there in person, not just bomb. We're doing that. Number two, you said, hang on, wait, I didn't finish. Wait. Number two, you said we should evacuate. We did that. Number three, you said the IDF should be there in the refugee camps. We did that. Now, so we did everything you suggested. You didn't know it. Now you know.
No.
Hang on.
You will.
I want to hear what you say. I want to finish my thought. So we've done everything that you didn't know until just now that you suggested that we do. But now maybe you're saying we should get Hamas out of the refugee camps. Well, that's a process too, and that's going to hurt civilians. So the first thing we're doing is we're responding to wherever they shoot us from. Now go ahead.
Okay, so my point is you're doing a piss poor job about why.
Wait, a piss poor job of what?
Oh my God, let me finish, brother.
A piss poor job of what?
Can you let me talk?
No, a piss poor job of what?
Of securing the area. If the fact is
that you mean the refugee camps?
Yes.
Okay. How are we supposed to protect the refugee camps from the refugees themselves who are Hamasniks? We
want us to interview them? You want us to shake them down? What do you want us to do?
So when you move a group of people, you're making them move with arms, with weapons? No, you're not.
What do you mean make them move? We tell them we're gonna bomb. Here's a refugee camp. Go here.
Okay. Yeah, you should escort them. You shouldn't just yeah.
So what is it? Okay, so you have an idea of how to evacuate a city different than Israel, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. Why is that obvious? You've never done this before. You've never been to a refugee. Hang on. You've never been to a refugee camp. You've never been to Israel. You've never been in battle. So you have some ideas, like sort of a civilian with some brainstorm. So write them down and put them in a letter. You seem to think that you understand the situation better than Israel, or for that matter, better than Hamas, or better than the president. But you don't have the information to justify your idea.
Okay,
You have a better idea.
Okay. So then correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't it be better to escort them because you know that they even steal their own food supplies?
They do escort them. What's your next question? I think that you're suggesting Israel does. Nevertheless, it's not possible to eliminate every single rocket and every missile. They have an underground subway system bigger than the London Underground that they use to transport stuff, and we're systematically decommissioning it. It's tough. So you don't have enough information to make your judgment or your suggestions. You're lacking information.
Well, then I don't know what to say. Listen, all I know is that you guys are looking bad more and more every day, and I am the few Arabs.
Well, we're not worried about how we look. You guys, we're not worrying about that.
Israelis.
What we're doing is we're winning the war. That's what we're doing. We're defeating the enemy.
Yes.
Maybe we can do a better job.
Obviously.
That's a good thing.
Yes, and
That's
listen.
a great thing.
Yeah. Listen,
That's the job of war.
Yes, of course.
And we're doing more to defend the civilian population than any military can do in history. You'd like even more. You're the great humanitarian. But I'll tell you one thing, Israel's not going to risk Israeli lives to defend people who want to kill us. And there's wide indication that even the civilians in Gaza, because they participated in the hostage taking and the hostage keeping, even the civilians are participating in this war and pretending not to. So it's a bit of a dilemma.
Honestly, they have bad leadership, so they need it. They need some a real good leadership.
Yeah.
But
See, we're a democracy. We can pick our leadership. They have a tyranny, so the leadership decides that they get to pick them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I wish that like the UN can or like the whoever just pick let's say an icon.
The UN is useless. The UN is useless. Literally useless.
Yeah, they are. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They do nothing. They help them out, but they do nothing.
I think the solution, honestly, is that they pick icon as a leader. Like for instance, one of the like famous like Muslim scholars to be their first leader because they're so backwards. They're not even Islamic. They're not Islamic. I don't agree with kidnapping women and children. It goes against.
This is the problem. This is the problem. They believe that they do not want us to live peacefully next to their neighbors. They want to destroy Israel. Pretty much all of them. So it's very difficult to lead them in any direction except the direction that they want to go, which is to die fighting against Israel. This is what their ideology is. They want to die trying to destroy Israel. That includes Israeli civilians. So we're fighting maniacs.
Yeah, you are. I'm not gonna lie, you guys are fighting maniacs. I mean, like, the fact is, like, us Egyptians, we just don't understand if they like, choose to stay in the house. No, like, get a phone call, hey, we're bombing your house. Why the hell stay there with your kids? If you love your kids,
Just get the hell out of the house. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit about any country. I don't give a shit about any house, any land. My kids.
They want their kids to be Shabis.
Well, they're retarded. Right?
Well, that's their beliefs.
No, I mean, no, they hijacked Islam. I believe they hijacked Islam.
I think that's true because Islam does not say kill your children. The people are killing the children.
Yes, and that's, see, I'm American, so I know a lot of Palestinians, and I have not one Palestinian friend because they're fucking nuts. Okay, they come here in America, they open grocery stores, they open business, and they're selling khinzir themselves. And I'm like, I talked to them, and I was like, what the hell are you doing?
I know what khinzir means.
Yeah, and I say, what the hell are you doing? You're selling grocery. Well, it's just business.
They sell it to the infidels.
Yeah. So they have their sharing networks. No, listen, I've seen it. I used to hate Israel so much, but I never had to be done. Because of the simple fact that the kids being unalive. But then when I started to sit down and talk to you guys, like, listen to you guys, I finally realized, having an open mind, I finally realized that you guys have the worst of the worst neighbors ever. That's why Egypt doesn't want them to come in our country. We don't want them about.
No Arab country wants them. No Arabs want them.
No, because they're fucking nuts. And it's crazy. And I feel bad saying this, I really do. Like my brothers and sisters, they're fucking nuts.
How are they your brothers and sisters?
It's not, in a sense. So it's even though they're different, have different,
ethnicity, different. It's not even the same thing. You point out.
Exactly. It's like a different, method, like a different way of teaching. They believe probably, well, from my understanding, they're Wahhabis, obviously, or Salafis. I am totally against that.
They're Muslim Brotherhood. That's what they are.
Yes.
Muslim Brotherhood is illegal in your country.
They're
By the way.
Yeah, we
not that possible.
So in Egypt, we unalive all those Muslim Brotherhoods. We put them in jail because they have the false ideology, and they're very extreme. Yeah. So much so they even bring life in there one time. It's what happened in Egypt. So they're extreme to the point where I would say, how in the hell are you Muslim? Because they just don't understand the word peace. Yeah. They're very into their greed. It's like happy or this and that. They mix their culture with the religion so much. I think it's their culture that really it's obviously the issue here because it supersedes their ideology, their culture. Because I couldn't even marry a Palestinian if I wanted to. If I go to a Palestinian, whatever, the way they are, they're fucking racist sometimes, So,
let me tell you a little bit about that. It's not that they're Palestinian. It just depends on their clan. So they want to marry according to their clans. They don't really have an idea of Palestinian. They don't really see themselves as Palestinian. They belong to this clan or that, like Al-Masri or Al-Turki or Al-whatever. It's not a national identity. They don't really want a country. They wanted a country. Believe me, the world would love to give them one. So would Israel. Then they get responsible people. They can have an economy. They have no economy.
No, it's a shit show. And honestly, I feel bad for them. I really do.
No, everybody does.
They're still human beings. They could get with the right. If they could just still get the education. That's the problem. The education and the right Islam. I think the whole indoctrination would change. But the problem is now that you guys are in a state of war, there is no such thing that's going to happen right now. So I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows, obviously, and I just hope that. Go ahead.
This is what I think. The people that
area, let's say Gaza, let's separate them from Judea and Samaria, because that's a whole different bunch of people. It's not the same people. So if they can be offered an alternative to death, and that's going to have to come from Israel and the world, then hopefully they will choose life. I don't know for sure, but that's their only chance, is to choose life. If they choose death, they're going to get it.
Yeah. It's sad, honestly. It's so sad. It's poor kids, you know, every baby's easy. And just to choose their fate. And I found, you know, Alex, it's fucking bullshit. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this.
What do they want from Alexa?
Well, it's because they believe that this mosque that Prophet Muhammad must have migrated on Nigeria to, which if they only knew.
You mean on the back of a flying donkey?
It wasn't a donkey. It was a special animal. I forgot what it's called.
What is it? Burak.
Yeah, it's a burak. I forgot the name of it. It's a special animal.
What's a burak?
I don't know.
Okay. Whatever it is. A flying horse of some kind.
But yes, sometimes it's a special animal. So long story short, if they won't
Special animal. So what do you think is the likelihood that he left Mecca to come to the capital of the Jews? What's that likelihood? And why would he do that?
So the thing is, they believe, and a lot of Muslims believe, this is the mosque that the Prophet Muhammad did the night journey to, which is not true. A lot of Muslims don't know this. You see, Al-Aqsa did not exist during the time of the Prophet. So much so, it was actually built 80 years after he passed away. So they think this significant building, this stupid mosque that they're dying for, that they believe that, you know, what happened on October 7th, Al-Aqsa, they went inside, whatever, and they did the atrocities.
They can go to Al-Aqsa today if they want. They don't have to kill anybody.
No, I understand that, but then the point is that it was the guys who took it, since like, because Trump claimed Jerusalem is now capital of Israel, right?
Well, it shows that it is the capital of Israel.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what?
now. So no, it now.
It was the capital of Israel before also.
Well, yeah. Well, listen, I you know, before it was all Islam.
Before what?
Before Israel became.
What about Christians? What about the Christians?
I'm saying it was Islamically, say, conquered. Yeah. So now
you mean by the Ottoman Turks?
Yes. So,
well, what if the Ottoman Turks had no business there?
No, but you're missing the point.
What's the point?
My point is that they think this only significant building was the building that the Prophet migrated to, which is not true.
On a flying animal.
Yes. So
is that the basis of letting your children die because somebody believed in a flying animal?
They're retarded. I'm telling you a lot.
Well, you did say that. You did say
that. Yes. They don't understand that he migrated to the Holy Land in Jerusalem.
Mecca. Okay, I mean, he went to Mecca and Medina. Whether he came to Jerusalem or not, I do not know.
Al-Aqsa, it's the night journey. It's in chapter 17, verse 1.
I'm very familiar with Al-Aqsa. I've actually been there more than once. But listen, they have 22 countries, okay? The Arab guys. They have 22 countries in the region. They're all of the oil, almost all of the land. Okay, there's a little postage stamp the size of New Jersey that the Jews have. If they're not going to let the Jews have anything, then that's not a deal that we're going to make. If they want to keep their oil and their land that they already have, that the British gave them, fine. But they're not going to come and take the little piece of land that the Jews are living on because the Jews want to live there and they're indigenous. I mean, they have every right to be there.
So, I'm not going to get into that because I don't care to argue about land.
There's nothing to argue about. We have the land.
Yeah, I really don't care. You can take the whole goddamn thing. I don't care.
You have Egypt. We have Israel.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care. The fact is, because they already lost. In my eyes, they already lost. Yeah, so they should be integrated. If anything, they should just be Israelis. And that's it. What you think? You guys probably.
I don't think they want to be. I don't think they. I think they.
I don't know.
They want to be Israeli?
I don't know.
Well, you can conduct a poll and see if they want to be Israeli. Yeah, we have a lot of Arab Israelis. They're not leaving.
I mean, technically, to leave, they have to get an Israeli passport anyway. So technically, they are.
Who?
Them. Don't they?
Where?
The Palestinians.
Where? Which ones? Where? Gaza or Judea and Samaria? Please don't be peeing.
Any of them.
Well, you got to explain what you're talking about because the Arabs in Israel, hang on, the Arabs in Israel have Israeli passports.
Yeah,
so they can leave, but they're not.
But I'm saying that there's no such thing as a Palestinian passport. Am I correct?
Where is it? I don't know if there is. I think there is, but you have to specify between. I think there is. You have to specify between Judea and Samaria, which some people call the West Bank, and Gaza.
So I think there was. Actually, there was, but I believe there's no more Palestinian passports.
So they had Jordanian passports up until 1988. Well, they were part of Jordan until 1988 when Jordan said, fine, we're going to, Israel beat us in the war, which Jordan attacked it. Yeah. We're going to relinquish any claim to that land. Jordan took it illegally in 1948.
Yeah, so yeah, they don't even have passports. So they have Israelis.
I think they do. I think they do.
Israelis.
I'm sorry?
No, they don't.
What's that?
No, they don't. Because I remember.
Who is they?
The Palestinians.
Where?
In Gaza.
If they're living in Israel, they have Israeli passports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't have Palestinian passports. That's what I'm saying.
They have Israeli passports.
Yeah, so they're Israelis.
They're Israelis, that's right. Why is that funny?
Because we're talking like if they, I wonder if they want to be Israeli, so technically they already are.
Well, you're not distinguishing between Israel and what you might call the West Bank, which is what Jordan called it, which is a colonial state, and what's the real historical name in Judea and Samaria. Now, if to Palestinians, don't call Palestinians in Judea and Samaria have Palestinian passports. I don't know the answer to that, but I can look it up right now. So there's the people in Gaza, what do they have? I don't know. Okay.
Most people in Gaza and West Bank have Palestinian passports.
Do they?
Yes.
I didn't know that. You know it either.
Yeah, they have passports, but they suffer from lots of other problems. The problem is not the passport. For example, they cannot travel from West Bank to Gaza or vice versa. Or most of the time when they leave in the West Bank, they are not allowed by Israel to return back.
I'm going to research this. I'll be back. Hold on. I'm going to see if they have passports. Hold on.
But I'm looking it up right now. Palestinians with a passport on which it is written issued by the state of Palestine.
Palestinians have passport issued by the Palestinian Authority. Just look it up.
Yeah.
Then your answer. They have passports.
No, shit.
Now, traveling from Judea and Samaria to Gaza,
But the time they cannot return back to Palestine. They cannot return back to West Bank or Gaza when they leave.
they go to Jordan.
Most of the time, but it is not guaranteed because Israelis control all the borders.
Well, Egypt controls the border, and so does Jordan. I mean, it's not violent.
Even West Bank, in the West Bank, Israel has its own border control. So Jordan on one side and Israel on the other side.
See, the real problem.
I mean, I have Palestinian friends in America who go back and forth through Judea and Samaria. I guess that's because I have American passports.
Also, this war, I agree with what Trump is doing because the Iranians are the ones who are supplying these idiots with all these supplies, all these weapons. So they need to cut that shit off. I just hope that they come to terms and agree to stop supplying these idiots with weapons of destruction, in the sense, rockets and whatnot. Honestly, this shouldn't be. We're in 2026. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why is this shit happening in today's news? Even like I used to listen. Like I said, I used to hate Israel, and I don't hate Israel anymore. So just to clear that up. I just don't understand why is Israel on the mainstream every effing day? Because I don't see the Saudi Arabian being broadcast. How they treat the Yemen.
Because they have oil. Because we love them. I just checked your question. What's your name here, Truth? So you're gonna have to update your truth. Yeah, Palestinians, as I suggested to you, they can leave the West Bank or cross the Abbey Bridge. I've been there into Jordan.
That was A. He is the one who said that, not me.
Well, no, I said something different. And you have to carry.
He's saying
because they don't have a Palestinian passport. That's incorrect. They do.
Oh, okay. Right.
Palestinians then have to re-enter by the same bridge out of Jordan, and they have to have valid residency status on their Palestinian ID.
At least they have that.
Yeah, but all these ideas you had were propaganda ideas. They weren't real.
Listen. If they get a real leader, like let's say, I don't know if you know Mufti Ming. I wish he's from Zimbabwe, and he's a humanitarian. He has a degree in philanthropy. He's very educated.
What's his last name?
Mink, M-E-N-K, Mufti Mink. This guy is very spiritual.
Okay.
If most of the Muslims would follow him, I think this world would be so much better. Especially, the Iranians obviously are different breed, right? They're completely different sect. It's a completely different.
They're Shia.
Yeah, they're Ahlul Bayt, so they believe that they get their.
It's called Shia.
Yeah, Shia. They believe they get their religion from family of Prophet.
Actually, religions are almost the same. There is just an argument who should succeed Muhammad.
No, that's not true, brother. I'm telling you, I am an ex-Shia, and I'm telling you, it's not the same. It's completely fucking different. They believe in the Trinity.
I said the successor of Prophet Muhammad. Why do you say this?
No, brother. They believe in it. I'm telling you, I'm ex-Shia. So and I'm telling you, they believe in the 12 imams. They believe that they're infallible. They believe in the Ayatollah. They believe in, man, it's nuts. It's nuts. Once I found out that one of the Ayatollah says that you can marry a 1-year-old, I'm like, okay, that's it. This is fucking nuts.
You are saying bullshit. What are you saying? I'm myself, I'm Shia. What is this? Who is Ayatollah?
Ayatollah Khomeini.
So what is his relevance with Shia?
Okay, so you know he's not your imam?
No, he's not my imam, no.
Oh, well, he's not the imam now because he's dead, but it's the imam of Iran or the Ayatollah or whatever the...
No. You guys can follow Iran. In Iran, if somebody is a Shia, he can follow whoever he wants. For example, in Iran, people follow Ayatollah Sistani.
So why would he say go to marry a 1-year-old?
What?
Why would he say it's okay to marry a 1-year-old girl?
Who said that?
I just told you.
True, he said some bullshit. What's related to it?
You are disconnecting the irrelevant things and attributing the irrelevant things to irrelevant people.
I'm just saying that you guys are far out there, man. You guys are the issue. Iran is the issue. You guys are so.
Okay, I understand what you are trying to do. You're trying to say bullshit here.
No, it's not bullshit, brother. It's not bullshit.
But you already said that I'm a Shia, then why do you lie?
You're a Shia. Are you a Shia? Let's be honest. Truth is a troll. It's true. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So if you're a Shia, you know that you're against the Ahl Sunnah. You're
not against Ahl Sunnah.
No, it's actually haram. Obviously, it's haram, but they do that.
Are you sure it's
No, actually, the Quran until like what made the fatwa, issued fatwa, made it haram for the followers to curse any Islam stuff. So what else do you have in your arsenal? So it's haram. Whoever's done my point is that why this regime, why would the belief or whatever give arms to the other give to the other, let's say, to Ahl Sunnah? Why would you do that? What do you mean Ahl Sunnah? We'll elaborate. So you okay? We so you're saying Iran does not give weapons? It does. Thank you. So who do you think Hamas represents? The Palestinians in Gaza. No. What religion? Ahl Sunnah. Thank you. And what's Iran? Muslims. The Shia. No, Ahl Bayt.
Marriage of convenience.
No, it's not about Sunni Shia BS. It's about the fact that also Hezbollah is Shia. So what? So they support. It's not about Sunni Shia. It's got nothing to do with all of these sects. You know, obviously Hamas and Hezbollah, they are from two different schools of thought of Islam, but they have the same enemy, which is Israel. So yeah, you have to see that through to geopolitics.
It's so-called Israel.
Yeah. Well, so-called Israel, we can say is Zionist regime. I mean, because it's obviously
Zionist apartheid regime. Yes.
Oh yes.
Or is that Amir says that? I can't remember.
Yeah, it is. Well, look, let's put it this way: Indonesia does not recognize Israel. Malaysia does not recognize. So what do you have to do? I mean, if you're from Malaysia,
Pakistan too.
They also recognize it as apartheid.
Saudi Arabia as well. I mean, Saudi Arabia. If you're from Saudi Arabia, what do you have to call that entity which your country does not recognize? You tell me. I mean, I don't know. If you're from Malaysia, sorry, I am sorry, guys. I had a phone call. So back to what we're saying. So why? Okay, it's all the same shit all over again. It's causing fitna. Fitna is causing basically fitna means like trouble. Yes, so fitna for people who are from Brooklyn. Fitna is division. Yeah. You're not from so you know what? The Shias are known. So the Shias are known for. So fitna means divisions. Yeah. Yes. So Shias are known to cause fitna. Okay. Well, I don't accept that. Okay. There's no division. So. No, it's not. Yeah, I understand. From your Zionist perspective, there should be decisions. I'm not a Zionist. There's no divisions among Ahl Bayt or Ahl Sunnah. It's all the same. Yes, there is. Well, how are you gonna tell? So you're gonna say that the Ahl Bayt, the Shias, is the one that is the correct Islam? No, not at all. None of them is not correct. The correct only Allah knows. Yeah, Allah knows.
Only in other words, both of them are correct.
So this division is done by Israelis. So they're trying to make divisions, and that's what they did, by the way. No. We divide Hamas, the two groups that represent the Palestinians. Obviously, the Bibi Netanyahu, fugitive Bibi Netanyahu, which is obviously wanted for war crime, the same piece of shit, he actually managed to create divisions about this group. He said it publicly by providing me basically almost $2 billion to Hamas, because he wanted to create these divisions amongst the Fatah and Hamas, so that there's a division, between two groups, so he can go ahead with his satanic greater Israel type. Wait, so you're saying Hamas is in two groups? No, Hamas and Fatah, the other one. Abu Mazen's part. So that's what it is. The whole idea is about the greater Israel plan, the satanic plan that they're trying to expand the whole Middle East. The only obstacle that they have, believe it or not, is not actually Islamic Republic of Iran. It's the American military bases in the region and trying to get rid of it. I know it sounds a little bit conspiracy. Okay, so let's say that's true. And okay, why is it you can figure it out, but Hamas and the PLO cannot figure that out and accept weapons from Iran?
No, they accept money from Israel to start with, because all of this money being funneled from Qatar, the money was actually given by Netanyahu to Qatar, and the Qataris were smart enough and asked for a receipt. You know, okay, because they wanted to deny that, you know, the Zionists are no liars, so he was definitely lying.
But I'm not talking about that.
The Qataris government asked for the receipt, so the BBC Netanyahu give the money to Qataris government, cut the receipt, and the Qataris paid me to the Hamas. So the money came from the Israel. So
but my point is that why do you think, since you figure it out, right? That's what you're saying. Why would then you go buy weapons from Iran?
They didn't buy weapons from Iran.
Really?
No one's selling it to them. So
We just give it to them for free.
Oh yeah. So why would you even accept it?
Who's gonna accept it? Hamas.
Yeah. Why would they? Why do you think that's an Islamic or you say halal thing?
It's got nothing to do with Islamic religious. People are I can tell you why. Because if you're under occupation, you don't care. Even if the aim is gonna give you the weapons to stand up, you want to receive it. Simple as that.
So the person who curses your prophet's wife doesn't matter. Wow.
Listen, whoever, you're under occupation.
I said curses the prophet's wife.
You can do whatever you want to feel like doing it, but when you're under occupation.
Let's first solve the first problem. It says that the Shia are cursing the prophet's wife.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100% that's true.
That's not true. I'm a Shia.
Yeah, so and I was actually, and I know all you guys fucking curse the prophet's wife. You do this. So why would I, if I'm a Sunni Muslim, why the hell would I accept anything? Why do I even talk to you?
Doesn't matter. I mean,
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Hang on. There are some good Jews and there are some satanic Jews, and we call them Zionists. So it's in every single community you have bad apples. But not the Shias do. I mean, if they do that, we condemn them.
So you can come. You
100%.
You condemn Hamas?
Do I condemn Hamas?
Yes.
What's he going to do with, like, now you're going to talk about something else?
No. Do you condemn them?
Do you condemn Zionist regime?
Yes. You condemn Hamas?
Why do you condemn Zionist regime for? What crimes they have committed?
Because according to you, they want to spread
According to me, what's it called?
Yes, to your conspiracy.
No,
You're saying that they want the great Israel. Right? That's what you're saying.
That's the only democracy that we can
Brother, just calm down. You just said that's their... I'm not going to forget about it.
Well, you got to forget about it.
No, I'm not. Because you're saying that's what they want to do. So, that being said, why... did I say I support? I understand. No, I understand. I said I understand. If you heard what I said earlier to Robotnik, and when I talked to Fatima and Robotnik, I said you guys could do it a different way.
Why do you support this satanic regime?
I'm not supporting. I understand. No, I am not. So my government is America. Yes, it is.
Forget about governments. By the way, the majority of Americans are not silent for this Zionist regime. I mean, that's what the poll says.
Listen. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm not supporting the satanic regime. I am not. Okay.
Are you against the satanic regime? So what's your
No, I understand. Listen, if you were here earlier in the conversation, I even talked to Fatima and like I said, I don't agree with them bombing kids. Yeah. And they went back and I went back and forth with them, and they were telling me, well, you don't know, we tried to escort them and this and that, and they have the Hamas even shooting from the refugee camps, and I was like, well, you should be doing a piss poor job, basically securing the area, making sure. And they're like, no, they're digging, they're like rats, they like cockroaches, they go underneath, they dig, and they dig underneath the refugee camps and shooting from there. So I understand. I am a reasonable person. A reasonable person understands things happen. So if things happen, what can you do? What can you do in that situation? So I said to them, well, you're doing a piss poor job. You should be making sure that you are
basically securing the area nonstop, or keep on moving the refugee camp so basically you don't shoot the innocent people, because kids are dying. Yeah, kids are dying. It's a lot of work. Yeah, I understand.
But you understand
Israel's tired. Israel's tired of it.
Yeah, but
Israel's
children,
tired of it.
But you understand the argument is that when children are gonna grow up and they're gonna come out, so it's better to deal with that. That's what the Zionist narrative is.
Okay. That's not all Israelis. Just to let you know, not all Israelis are like this.
Far right.
You have to understand
which are the
ruling. Don't let your hate trust me.
No, it's not my hate. I look at the fact. I mean, when I see Scorchridge, when I see Ben Gibby, they are not like random people on the block. They are people they're not random people. They're actually people who are actually running the show in this satanic regime, and that's what they're calling for. And I don't understand.
No, brother. I've seen. Okay.
You believe in Satan, do you?
Do I believe in Satan? Yes, I do. I do. Satans do exist. And you can see the manifestation of Satans in this regime called Israel.
Okay.
Not the representative of that big great Satan, yes.
Alright. Okay, I've got a question for you. For somebody who lives in Israel, who's not a Zionist, but they just love Israel, the country, is that okay with you?
100%. If they love Israel, Palestine, if they want to coexist with other people, particularly the Jews, if they want to stay there, they should stay there. But we are against the apartheid system exactly the way it was in South Africa.
Apartheid system in which country?
In occupied Palestine, which is called Israeli regime. Obviously, it's
occupied Palestine. What does that mean? Where does it start and where does it end?
So all the way from Gaza to the West Bank. All of them are occupied.
Okay, what about north and south?
Same. All occupied, because at the moment.
Can you give me? Because I've got some paper here, and I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to research it.
River to the sea, all occupied.
Yes. Okay. So from Gaza to Jordan.
Yes. Jordan.
Okay. So
the Jordan River, all occupied.
And what about north?
Yeah.
To the Lebanese border?
Not really, yes, exactly. But does not mean that the Jews must leave. They need to stay. But the system that runs the people in this occupied land needs to change. It needs to be inclusive. Meaning that if you're from Gaza, there shouldn't be any difference from if you live in so-called Tel Aviv. There should be the same law applied, the same passport, everything should be the same. Whatever name you want to call it. But there should be one country. That Jews and Muslims and atheists and the Christians and the Jerusalem and agnostics and the homosexuals and the atheists and asexual, heterosexual, all live under the same law. We should not have two different laws. I mean, is it too much to ask?
Do you believe Israel exists as a sovereign state?
No, I don't. No, not as a Jewish state. No, I don't accept.
Do you believe that Saudi Arabia exists as a Muslim state?
Well, no, it's not a Muslim state. Saudi Arabia is a family cult.
Is it possible for Saudi Arabia to become non-Muslim majority?
To me, they're not Muslim.
Not Makkah, Medina, but the rest can be. Makkah, Medina, it can be non-Muslim.
Saudi Arabia, is it possible?
I don't believe that
for Saudi Arabia to become majority non-Muslim?
I don't like to have two laws. I don't like having one law for the Jews and one law. I like to have Jews and state.
What is the criteria?
One law.
What is the criteria? What's the criteria for somebody to be a citizen of Saudi Arabia?
They need to be born there, obviously.
Yeah, can you be an atheist?
Can you be an atheist in Saudi Arabia?
Can you be a Jewish person in Saudi Arabia?
In Saudi Arabia, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. We're not talking about Saudi Arabia.
Can you be a Christian?
There's no occupation in Saudi Arabia. There's no disputed territory in Saudi Arabia. Do I agree with Saudi Arabian government? 100% no.
Are Jews allowed to go into Mecca?
No, there's a massive human rights violation going on on a daily basis in Saudi Arabia.
Are Jews allowed to go into Mecca by law?
No Muslims, non-Muslims are not allowed to get into Mecca either. No.
Okay. Can Jewish people and Christians pray in public in Saudi Arabia?
Well, I hope they can, but obviously, if they don't allow it, that's wrong. They should
Okay. Are there churches and synagogues in Saudi Arabia?
is non-existent. That's why they don't agree with the Saudi Arabian governments. But Saudi Arabia is not a benchmark here. I can give you a better benchmark than other Muslim countries as a benchmark. You can come up with Malaysia. You can come up with even in Iran.
That would be wonderful. You've been doing my work. Go ahead.
Okay, in Iran, there are 13 active synagogues, for your information. There are Catholic churches, there are Orthodox churches, there are Zoroastrian temples.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Oh, well, you can look it up. And there's a permanent member of parliament that has to come from the Jewish faith, also the Christian faith. There are Jewish hospitals, there are Jewish butcher shop, which is a kosher shop. It does exist.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I don't need to look it up. I'm aware of it.
You look it up. And I know it doesn't come up in your bills. But the reality is that the Jews can stay in that land. But if you have two different laws, so meaning that if you are Jew, somehow you are treated different than someone who happens to be Christian, I don't agree with that. And I believe that Israel as a Jewish state, I don't agree with that. And also with that, I don't agree with any country with Islamics. I don't agree with Islamic state. I don't agree with the Christian state. I'm not a democratic state. Everyone has the equal right, regardless of what background they're coming from. And I don't think it's too much for us in 2026.
Okay. Do Palestinians in Lebanon, are they treated very well?
No, they haven't actually. Not at all.
Do they have equal rights?
No, they don't have equal rights in Kuwait and Lebanon.
Why?
Because of the discrimination, systematic discrimination that happens on all of this country.
Should we take to the streets and protest the Palestinian treatment in Lebanon?
Well, the level of discrimination that happened among the Palestinians in Lebanon is not comparable with the way that they've been through in West Bank and Gaza. But surely, yes,
even if it is not comparable, should we take to the streets about the treatment of Palestinians in Lebanon?
100%. We should also call.
Can we have a room together about it? With the
Absolutely. We can have a room. We can also ask the supporter of the situation that made the living impossible for the people of Lebanon, regardless of the Druzi, Shia, Palestinian, Lebanese. The situation in Lebanon is not great at the moment. And that is because of the Israeli aggression.
Yeah, is it true that even children who were born in Lebanon, even children born today with Palestinian heritage, they don't get the citizenship, they don't get the passport.
You should understand one thing. In the United States last week, there was this thing about President Trump that was literally saying if you're born in the United States, you don't get the citizenship straight away. So this is a citizenship law that you so some country, they go with, if you're born in that country, they're not going to grant you citizenship. So that's a citizenship law. So that's not automatic. It's not a human right if you're born in the place of citizenship.
My grandmother was from Poland, okay? I can get a far easier route to citizenship of Poland than somebody without Polish parents or grandparents. What do you think about that?
No, I don't have any. Again, it's a citizenship law. It depends on
right. In the United States of America here, was you aware that there's something in the Constitution which shows that somebody who's not born in the country or does not have American parentage, they're not allowed to get a position of some jobs. For example, the President of the United States. What do you think about that?
Well, that's considered, again, that's the law of the land, but respect that.
Okay, what about the law of the land of Israel? Do we respect that?
Again, I accept Israel, I accept America as a state. There's no disputed territory there, as for my maybe the Mexican or the California. But the Israel is a disputed land. It's not a.
Do you believe?
Okay, you say Israel. What are the?
Do you believe?
You said the United States. They have a designated border. That's Mexico. That's Canada. That's the United States. We know where the borders are. Tell me about this country called Israel. Where are the borders? The borders, literally every single border change. If you ask me this question like 2 years ago, the border was not inclusive in Golan Heights, which is a part of the Syrian territory. But now,
that's always been part of the United States of America and Hawaii. Okay, now I've got a question. I've got a question for you.
I mean, you said Israel. Where are the borders?
I've got a question for you. You said that you accept the United States of America exists as a country, right? Are you one of these people that accepts that the United States of America is complicit in genocide that Israel supposed to have done?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Right. So, but you still respect the USA as a country?
Yeah, because I believe that they can change. There's a democracy. They can change. They can change the course. You can have a better politicians and change the course. And that's what's happening right now in the United States. There is a hope because the United States you can change the politicians through the elections. There's a process about
what do you think about Israel, where Jews are by law they have to serve in the IDF, but Palestinian, Muslim, Arab, Israelis don't have to. Do you think that's discriminatory? Favors one
Are you
more than the
talking
other?
about the Arab Israelis? Like the one that they've got, you're talking about the 2 million Palestinians who live under, they have Israeli citizenship.
Yes, what do you think about?
Well, that's their law. Obviously, there's not discrimination. They want them not to be active in IDF so that in case there's a war in West Bank or Lebanon, because obviously they are Arabs, they sympathize and they don't want them to serve army. With the same token, they didn't want to serve the Haredis, which are the Orthodox Jews. They didn't want them. But look, this is something about them. And I don't know
what about Captain Ella? She's a captain. She's an Arab Israeli.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's volunteer. There's so many Druzies that serve IDF, but again, that's up to them. I mean, it's whatever they want to rule their apartheid system is amongst them. I don't care about whether they want to include the Arabs or non-Arabs. There are so many Druzies serving IDF too. But again, it does not mean anything. Even if there was mandatory for Arab Palestinians to serve the Israel, it would be the same thing. Were we against the IDF? We don't against because they are Jews, because they are oppressive, because they're occupied. There are so many Druzies there. There are so many non-Druzies. So we against that. No.
Okay. Can you provide me some information to me and everybody who's listening? Provide me something, which shows that Israel is occupying. And I'm not speaking about Judea and Samaria, part of the Gaza Strip. I'm speaking about other areas sandwiched in between them. I want you to provide me something. The United Nations shows that Israel is a sovereign state. Okay, and a sovereign state occupies it.
A sovereign state have a border, have a designated border. Did you know that the border?
Okay, so you're going to open it. Okay, so Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, or Gaza. So would you say that they're under authority by Israel, the Israeli government, the military?
Which section of that? There's 3 sections. Some of them are in totality because obviously everything controlled. They don't have any border. I mean, they have a border, but they don't have any control.
Area BC.
Yeah, BC, exactly.
So because they're under control by Israel, a foreign government, you don't accept that that's a sovereign state then, right?
No, because the sovereign state have a border. That's not
by what definition? Who you make it? Yes, so also Turkey. So also Turkey is not. So also Russia is not. So also Greece is not. So
like. You understand that this is expansion movement. But when you don't have a border, it means that you want to expand.
No, we have a border. We have a border. We have sovereignty. There is no. And so on. You are just making up definitions in order to. And so on. That is fine. Sovereignty is about making your own decisions and being able to defend those decisions. It has nothing to do with borders and define or define. You're just making a standard that will only apply to Israel. Unfortunately for you, it doesn't apply only to Israel. There are many countries that don't have defined borders or disputed.
Okay.
We have control over the entire land of Israel and on Judea and Samaria.
Okay.
We have sovereignty there.
We call it West Bank. Does it belong to the Israeli regime?
I don't know what is the Israeli regime. What do you mean by Israeli regime?
So the same government that you guys are part of it. I mean,
none of the land belongs to the government.
Okay. But I mean,
government is one of the bodies. That is one of 3 bodies that is governing Israel.
So why do you have the illegal settlement in the West Bank? Why do you keep
you're calling them illegal. I don't think they're illegal.
United Nations.
It doesn't matter. It's the only thing.
What about United States?
That is fine.
What about United States?
I tell you what. Hold on. I will ask you what makes them illegal.
The position of the United States is clear from me.
Yeah, but then, again, you're missing the point of sovereignty. Sovereignty means that we decide for ourselves.
It's illegal in the United States. Under God.
No, I understand. My question was, what law are they violating?
What law? You know what? Just the position of the United States is law for me.
So an opinion. Okay, so I have a different opinion.
Okay, so that's the opinion of the United States and the European Union.
And I don't know what you're talking about the United States. I think, hold on, what do you mean United States? Who in the United States? United States are like 300 and something million people.
Trump. I can give you an example that on Trump system is illegal settlements.
Trump owns which one? No, listen, I tell you what the difference, okay? There are settlements that are illegal. It doesn't mean that all settlements are illegal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, when we hold on, let me help you. When we say,
I'm not talking about outlaws. I'm talking about Smotrich literally spending millions of shekels to go ahead with that illegal settlement. I'm not talking about a couple of Jews that hold on.
Hold on. So one second. So we're saying, you keep on saying illegal. And I'm trying to tell you that also this word illegal has different contexts. When we say illegal, it means that you didn't get authority, what you call an outpost, meaning that you went and you just built something, and that would be true even if it's in the middle of Israel. If you just build something with no permits, it's illegal. Do you mean without a permit? No. You basically mean that a Jew living in Judea is illegal, and I reject the concept that someone's illegality because of his ethnicity in a place. Because if an Arab can do it and go an outpost in Judea and Samaria, and you will call it illegal, but a Jew doing an outpost in Judea is illegal, I think it's racist, it's anti-Semitic, it's bigoted. It's not true. Like, you understand, right? Your claim is any Jew in Judea is not legal. Show me the law that says the Jews in Judea are not allowed. Thank you.
Apparently, Daniel, understand that you're obviously I'm pretty sure your audience will. I mean, that's why we have the Democratic senator.
So correct me. Tell me which law. So tell me, if I am a Jew and I go to Judea and I want to live there, can you tell me what law?
I don't know.
No, West Bank. No, I'll tell you what. West Bank. Listen, you cannot claim to talk about illegality, but then use a name which is the West Bank, which is a name. Let me finish because it's important. It's important because I'm here to expose hypocrisy. You are now preaching about abiding by the law. Now, West Bank is a name given by an illegal occupier that illegally conquered the land illegally and then renamed it to connection to the land. And also, they did it recently. Hold on a second.
So for those people in the audience that are interested about this topic, I'll put a link in the chat about the Zionist regime, finance minister Smotrich. The Smotrich, which is the finance minister of the Zionist regime, he literally want to spend money on this illegal settlement. So we can look at this article. Yeah, I mean, that's why the Zionists now trying to talk over me so that you guys don't hear me. So whoever is interested about this topic, that's what we try to expose them. Filibustering is a typical tactic used by the pro-Zionists. Online non-Zionists. You've got to be careful about the way that they use tactics. It's called filibustering tactics. So they're trying to illegalize it. Read about this topic. By the way, it's not about the West Bank, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the United States.
What he's talking about. He never knows what he's talking about. Thank you for throwing him down. He's such a waste of space, that guy. Anyway,
one second. See, everybody should get a chance to speak. I'm sorry, so We are not giving the other person a chance to speak. You're just talking all over other people. Yes, you can talk about a problem, but let others also speak. See,
yeah, others was speaking, and then this animal next to me was talking over me, and he was just talking shit. He was just saying hello this, hello that, because he didn't want me to talk. He was talking about the finance minister of Israel, essentially going ahead with illegal things.
You shouldn't call us a certain way. See,
okay, not animal.
Take respect. That's the thing. Okay. I'm Israel Chai. Glory to Israel.
You can be whatever you want to be, but I am literally exposing your life.
So
I am exposing life. The Israeli minister announced plan for new legal settlement in Gaza's prison. What's your take on that? How do you want to get Hasbara to justify this illegal act?
Where they can live in their own homeland. There's nothing illegal about that.
There's nothing illegal. Gaza is in a homeland. This is illegal. You don't let it. That's why you are the most hated people in the world. Because you are people. Because you want to steal other people's lands. It's a crap.
They can't do anything about it because our citizens are problem. Just relax. This is not how we're going to talk to them. This is not how we're going to talk to our fellow brothers and Abrahamic religion, right?
They're not atheists. Like the guy next to me, Daniel, he's a homeless man.
What's this guy's name?
They're not your brother. They're not racial.
What did he say?
They're atheists. They don't believe in God.
You're shouting so much. You were supporting the Messiah. So you're saying that he hates us and everyone should be able to live together. Now you're like pushing that.
A better, icon, someone like I keep on saying, I believe like one of these beautiful Muslim sheikhs, scholars. I think he's a scholar actually. Mufti Mink. I wish Mufti Mink. I always say Mufti Mink should be like.
He sounds Jewish. Mufti Mink. He sounds Jewish.
No, he's Egyptian and he lives in Zimbabwe. And yeah, he's a beautiful person. He's very like his heart is white as sky. Like I love him that much. But the thing is that he'll never accept this because he's not what they believe. What
So hold on. So he's a Mufti Sheikh whose name is Mink, who lives in Zimbabwe, who's got a very white heart. My God, he sounds like a Moshiach. He sounds like Messiah.
Yeah, but
we can't even live it. I mean, I can't live it.
The problem is they would never choose it. They would never choose it because their way of thinking is obviously corrupted, and that's not Islam. And so that that's not Islam. You know that if our prophet was alive today, he would curse them and say, "What the hell?"
Do you understand that this animal that talking to you actually cursed prophet Muhammad? Well, the guy was talking about you understand? I never did. People are talking here. Maybe you don't curse Prophet Muhammad. They curse your prophet. What are you talking about?
I've never cursed Prophet Muhammad in my entire life.
Alright, calm down. I will curse them. Fuck Prophet Muhammad. He's a fucking filthy pedophile who married the fucking 6-year-old, had sex with her at night, and he fucking said women are bad omens, women are like dogs. If you want, I can get the hadiths. I have them saved on my phone. These are Sunni hadiths. These are not Shia hadiths. So fuck your filthy ass Prophet Muhammad, and fuck your filthy ass religion. Whatever sect it came out from, whatever sects come out from it, they're all fucking saved. They're all fucking disgusting sects. Disgusting religions. And fucking How can you fucking defend the fucking pedophilic prophet? How can you live with yourself knowing that your prophet marries a 6-year-old girl and fucking has don't explain to me she was 19 years old and don't talk to me about her sister bullshit. I have her nose that crap. Alright, give me a second.
I'm not Kumalo, which is dishonest. He doesn't say that. But he was honest. Like he said what she believes. He's honest. But this Kumalo, he says exactly
I got this.
But you understand that? Talking about he's honest.
I got this.
Doesn't lie. But this Kumalo is wrong. You know what I'm saying? this guy. Like he says something, act differently. So you gotta understand.
I got no more around. Fatima, sister, first of all, it doesn't say that he married a 6-year-old girl, right? That's number one. Well, you guys have hadiths, alright? And guess what? I have hadiths that can prove otherwise that she wasn't actually 6, that she was actually 17. So you can go back and forth on whatever you want to believe. Yes, there's Muslims that believe that they're okay with that, which I disagree. I believe that the Prophet married Aisha at the age of 17, 18 actually, at the first hijrah, year 622 AD. So, and I have proof of this, okay? I have my proof, and it's my subjective. This is all hadiths. It is not in the Quran. So, you need to understand that, and you need to stop cursing our Prophet. You need to stop acting like the Palestinians. This is the problem. If you educate the Palestinians and tell them, hey, you know, your Prophet didn't.
Alright, look at my profile picture and tell me she's 19 years old. Tell me she's 19 years old.
Okay. Do you want me
First of all, no, let me prove you.
want me
Shut
to prove you my point?
Shut up. You need your hadiths to know how to do your fucking Islamic rituals. So you cannot tell me, oh, this hadith is true, this hadith is not true. You do need all your hadiths to know how to follow Islam. And look at my profile picture. This literally says she was 6 years old when he fucking married her, and she was fucking 9 years old when he had fucking sex with her. And you cannot deny that hadith. You need your fucking hadiths to have your fucking religion. Your fucking hadiths tell you how to do prayer, how to do Ramadan, how to do Eid. They tell you how to do all of those things. So you are not gonna tell me now, oh no, I'm gonna deny that hadith. Fuck that bullshit. This is the hadith that literally tells you she's 6 years old when he decided to fucking marry her. And you know why he decided to marry her? Because he dreamed of her. He dreamed of her one time, and then he said, if God shows me a second time, her in my dream, then God tells me to marry her. So then he fantasized again about Aisha a second time because he's a pedophile, right? So he says that's the second dream that God gave him that tells him to marry her. And based on that, he married the little girl. And you can see the hadith in my profile picture. 6 years old and 9 years old. Literally written in your fucking language. I don't know if you're Egyptian, so it's not your original Arabic, but it's literally written there. So go ahead, read it.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay, Andrew. So literally the position of not also security.
What is this you're talking about now again? What is it?
There's a settlements in West Bank which are actually flagrant violations of international law. That's what you ought to give them. You know, it's a position.
We don't give a fuck about the
I understand you don't give a fuck about the other people. Understand that. I mean, the guys don't really establish you don't care about the other.
You can be anybody you want, but you're not going to tell us how to live in our own country. Don't tell us. We don't want to know.
So this guy, we report you. We do tell
Fuck
you.
you. That is not
So you gotta understand that. You gotta understand that. You gotta understand that you gotta Hasbara to do. I mean, you gotta understand your Hasbara is not working anymore. The Hasbara, which is a talking point of dishonest regime, is not working. We are here on a daily basis to expose us. Understand? You are here to expose the lie on a daily basis. By the way, unlike you guys, we get paid. We're doing it voluntarily. No one pays us, but they pay you.
How much are you paid? How much are you paid?
No one pays us, but they pay you to do it. I mean,
How much? How much?
well, I don't know how much you think you tell us. You tell
How much?
how much you think.
7,000.
I don't think you're forced to go out now. You're forced to listen.
Oh my God. What do you think we get paid? How much you think one of us gets paid?
So this is what it is, guys. This is the
At the end of the day,
mouthpiece of the fascist apartheid regime. This group colonial, secular colonial project that goes off Middle East goes only pain and suffering for the people. And we want that to end exactly like South Africa. Apartheid system does not mean that we are against the Jews. Does not mean we are against the Muslims. We just don't want that apartheid system in our beloved Middle East. That's all we want. We don't want to have two laws. We don't want to have an apartheid system in South Africa. And we don't want to have the same law that applies in the Middle East. We believe are better. We don't want that. We don't want Islamic. We don't want Jewish. We don't want Christian. We want to have a democratic Middle East run by elections, but all across the country. That's what we don't need. We want democracy. We don't want apartheid. Yes, we don't want democracy, not apartheid. That's what we want. We don't want ethnic supremacy. We don't want you to be treated just because you're related to certain cults. We don't like that. No, that's a mockery of democracy. That's what's happening so far. That's a mockery of democracy. You don't have a democracy. That's an honor among the thieves. That's what it is. Not a...
I would like to speak to Fatima and tell her how I came to the conclusion.
There is nothing to talk about. The literally shit with the hadith, we shut the fuck up and that's it. What do you want to talk about? I fucking showed you the hadith.
I know, sister, you have that hadith, but I still have another.
Alright, I have it, so what?
Okay, but
you gonna pick and choose? You gonna pick and choose from your fucking hadith? That's not how it works, buddy.
I'm having a conversation with you. I don't know why you're excited.
You know why I'm mad?
I never
You know why this... No, wait. I'm gonna let you talk. Let me finish first and then I'll let you speak.
Sure.
You know why this gets me mad? Because this hadith makes fucking children in pain. It makes fucking children suffer. This fucking hadith makes fucking children suffer. Little girls are getting married at underage.
I agree with you.
Well, at underage. And you think that's okay? And
no,
you think another hadith is gonna save that hadith? I mean, no. So you agree? You're fucking religion and you're fucked up religion.
I agree to
End of story.
No, it's not end of story, sister.
It's end of story.
No, sister, you have to understand. There's some hadiths that are not. They're not true, and they're not. So they put everything in there, like whatever. Honestly, for me, okay, I believe the people who wrote the hadiths were fucking idiots. Okay, so I some of them are true, some of them are not. So for instance, the way I subjectively picked, my hadith is if it's morally inclined with my nature, my fitra. Okay, I don't know if you understand my Arabic when I say fitra, right? So the thing is this. My proof is this. Asma, which is the sister of Aisha.
Oh my God! I knew you were gonna talk about her sister. Please stop. I know what you're gonna say. I've heard this 1,000 times. So please.
Okay,
don't.
but sister, we get other people.
No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Her sister was this age when she married him, so she was that age when she was that age. I know about this. I just told you that you were gonna say this. No, I just told you that you were gonna talk about her sister, right? And now you're gonna do it. So I don't want to listen to it.
There's other people.
The sister and this one and that one. Who cares? I'm not caring anymore to talk about the age about the well when I got married. So who gives a fuck? Let's move on. Okay? Let's move on. This was a past time. Who cares anymore? Just move on. Let's talk about what we want to talk about.
Listen, I understand where you're coming from, and I was upset with that. I was Islam because of that. And I came into terms with the fact that I know now that she wasn't. Okay? And that's why I was good.
You can say whatever you want.
And say, hey, this is not working out.
Yeah, get rid of Hamas, then we can get new leadership finished. End of story.
Well, yeah, but it's not happening that way.
It's happening day by day, every day it's happening. Don't worry. It's happening day by day, moment by moment. It's happening.
Yeah, okay, it's happening, but at what cost?
What do you mean at what cost? We're getting rid of every single one of them, one by one. That's the way it should go. As long as it...
Alright, do you know that they most of them, you know this, a lot of these Hamas movements, whatever they're coming in, they're all coming in by force. They're not, some of them are being dragged into this.
One by one. We will get them one by one.
So there's
any,
so you honestly believe that some of these people are so you don't believe that none of them are innocent?
No, none of them are innocent. None of them are innocent.
So you don't believe that Hamas is forcing their citizens to join?
They want to force their citizens to join. It's up to them. That's their leadership. We're gonna get the leadership. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get it. Yeah. Wow. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. You see what they did to us on the 7th of October? That was wow too.
Yes, and I condemned it. I condemned it.
Yeah.
As it was for I condemned it.
And 50 million times. Let me tell you something. We condemn things by action. We don't condemn things by saying we condemn them. Fuck that. We will do what we need to do. Don't you see that it doesn't
The only ones that are say pro Hamas are the Iranians and the Libyans.
We will get them too. Don't worry. We will get them too. Anybody who wants to hit us and try and kill us, goodbye. We're not interested. We don't want to know. Finished. Halas. That's the way it's gonna work.
But that mindset is not gonna work.
We don't give a fuck. We got enough giving a fuck.
You're a human being. You are a human being. You have a heart.
Thank you very much. I know what I am. Thank you very much. But my people and me, we come first. If somebody wants to take me away from this earth, good luck to them. Good luck.
So you don't care about babies?
I didn't say anything about it.
Once again, buddy. Once again, I would like to come to truth. See, this is not nothing about babies. Truth, you should understand something. That we can't save these people. These people have already decided that they will sacrifice themselves and they will sacrifice their children. It is written in your own Quran that you should sacrifice your fight in the way of Allah, sacrifice your wealth and your lives for Allah. What can we do about it? It's your decision. It is your... See, this is not a Palestinian problem. This is an Islam problem. Because Islam hates all others. And it is clearly written in chapter 9, verse 29. And every day you curse the Jews and Christians. You recite Al-Fatiha, isn't it? In the last line, you know that you curse the Jews and Christians. Chapter 98, verse 6. The disbelievers are the worst of all creatures. What kind of God would say that his creation is the worst of all creatures? So it's not limited to... One second, buddy, one second. This is not limited, this conflict is not limited to just Palestine and Israel. I am seeing this all over the world, from over there in Japan. They are burning down the Shinto temples and the Buddhist temple. They are constructing illegal mosques. They are praying on the road. They are marching into restaurant and praying there. So, and it's a very the Muslims are condemned to defend the problems in Islam. It's so unfortunate to see that. So unfortunate. We can't really see when October 7th happened. I've seen people asking, Israel is responsible for the security of Israelis. It is because of the security lapse that October 7th happened. Then why Hamas is not able to provide the security that Israel provides for its citizens? See, Yahya Sinwar himself told that this is a necessary sacrifice. What did he say? The killing of children and women is necessary sacrifice so that the world will take notice and, this is, it's kind of a shitty strategy that you are using. And this is not just limited to Israel and Palestine. I'm seeing this all over the world.
You know that when Sinwar planned this attack, he thought that Israel, one of the possibilities that Israel would respond with a nuclear bomb on Gaza. It actually his notes. And he actually, despite that, he went ahead and he did it. Now the Palestinians, as an identity, the sole purpose of this identity of Palestinians is to fight the Jews. The Palestinians are a weapon. It's not an ethnic group, it's not a racial group, it's not a religious group. They are used as a weapon against Israel. This is why their misery is the weapon against Israel. No one in the Islamic world has any interest to help them. On the other, like completely the opposite. The more they suffer, the better for the Islam world against Israel. And this is the sad thing about it.
Now, Truth, can you tell me where is the humanity if there is not one Islamic land that wants to hurt the Palestinians? Tell me, where is humanity? Come. I want to know, because I'm looking for it all. For 3 years I've been looking for humanity. It's fucking nowhere. It's on flotillas.
I said this before, and I think you weren't here when I spoke about the Palestinians, because you just came in the room. I understand the Israeli position. It's a really hard position. I understand that. But my point is,
that if you guys just reason with them, educate them, because they have so much hate. You know what I'm saying? They have so much hate against you.
No, but this is really difficult. This is
Israeli governments.
no, it's not about the government. No, it has nothing to do with the government. Palestinians were created, and by the way, it's not my perspective, it's the Palestinian perspective, as a tactical tool against the Zionist entity. This is why 80 years later, they are still stateless refugees. This is their purpose, to fight Israel. And the only way to reason with them is to settle them in Arab countries. Listen, I will show you a Hamas leader says, who are we the Palestinians? Half of us are Egyptians, the other half are Saudis. He says, the Hamas leader, I will send you him saying it after 7th of October, saying 30 families in Gaza are called El Masri. Who is El Masri? The Egyptian. They are the only, but it doesn't exist Palestinian. It was created in the 60s as a weapon against Israel. That these Palestinians is really not helping anyone, especially not Palestinians and Israelis. If you are humane, if you have morals, you need to treat those people like you treat any other refugee around the world and in history, which is to help them and settle them and let them and give them a chance in life, not keep them stateless and as a weapon against the Jews.
I would like to respond to Trump's claim that they should be educated. See, I'm from India. I'm not even a Hindu. I'm an ex-Christian. So there was a bomb blast that happened a few months ago. It was carried out by educated doctors. Education is nothing. Your Zawahiri was a surgeon, isn't it? He was a doctor. Zakir Naik is a doctor. See, education means nothing. The religion is a different topic entirely. So, educated Muslims become much more dangerous than uneducated ones because they know the technical know-hows.
Well, then you're saying that if what you're saying is true, then I guess I'm dangerous, right?
I don't know. I really don't know. That is not the problem.
What sound dangerous? You're assuming that.
I can answer that question. I think anybody who keeps that that filthy, dangerous religion alive by claiming himself or herself as a Muslim is fucking dangerous. Even if you don't do those terrorist attacks and do jihad, you are dangerous because you're still that.
But he is assuming that he is educated. This one, you're assuming you are educated. Both. You are assuming that he said to you that you are educated, so therefore you said. You get any Muslim right here? I bet you I'll smart them in Islam. You might be able to smart them on the Islam side of things, but you are not educated in the situation of the Palestinians and the Jews. Okay, but we're talking about Islam. He's talking about more educated becoming Islam. You're talking about educated people of the Palestinians. You don't understand the ideology. If you're saying stupid things like that, you don't understand that the ideology already has been manifested and indoctrinated in the society to want to annihilate and kill the Jewish people all throughout its existence. Do you understand?
So you know what I did not you know what I did not see after 7th of October? There are 2 billion Muslims in the world. And in every pro-Palestine demonstration, you will see Jews holding signs, Jews against genocide and all that. But you know what I didn't see? I didn't see 10 Muslims, not 10 million, not 10,000, not 100, 10 Muslims that will go on the streets of London or New York or Rome with a sign saying, release the hostages, or this is not Islam. I haven't seen it. Nowhere. Not even 10 Muslims.
Okay. You know why? Why? Because we would be prosecuted by our own people.
In Rome, in London, in New York, I specifically said Western countries.
So you're scared of your own people. Is this how it is?
No, hold on. Hold on. I'm talking about London, New York, Rome, Paris.
Yeah,
it's the fact, and let me add to it. If you were condemned by your own people that you say
say release that there was children taken out of babies. Is it so crazy to go and say release the hostages? And yes, I did not see it because
I'm being real with you. Honest, I'm being completely honest. I would love to do that, but the problem is, if I do that, let's say if I put a sign, bring back they're gonna say, what the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you see what they're fucking doing, killing all the kids?
But don't you see that this is the problem?
Yeah,
don't you see that this is the problem?
I agree.
And also in the West,
there are Muslims to the point where there's no return. I believe
but it's not just in Muslim countries. But explain to me why in New York or in London, where there are Muslims that are living in the West, cannot go and take a sign, 10 Muslims that will go on the street with a sign saying, release the hostages. Or Hamas is not shot.
Shot.
So that is a bad thing. That is a problem with Islam.
No, it's not Islam. It's humanity. The people, they
we need to go out and say release the hostages.
I would love to. I'm telling you right now, I'm saying release the hostages.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Out of 2 billion, I didn't see even 10. Everybody, you're saying it to me now, but for 3 years, we had hostages. No one came out and spoke. No one, not even a single one.
You're right, and trust me, I was disturbed and I was disgusted how the Palestinian people were smiling and laughing when the coffins were returned.
Forget about the Palestinians. I mean, again, I'm talking about the Muslims in the West, in London, in Paris, in New York, in Rome.
I know, but you have to understand they have. See, you're not putting yourself in my position or in their position.
No, so tell me, how come out of 60? Why in 16 million Jews, but I do see many Jews speaking out against Israel, going out to pro-Palestinian demonstrations. I don't see the other way around.
Look, in one case he is right. If some of people inside of the Euro will go out with talking points against Hamas or pro-Israel, they will be shot in it. We know it. We saw it, what Hamas did in Gaza with someone who opposed Hamas, and also in Europe they're not safe from it. So I can understand that maybe some of them are just afraid to talk because it really can be dangerous.
Yes,
I will not argue with this.
You need to understand. You see, truth, this is the most important thing, because if you don't understand this, you're not understanding exactly what the problem is. The most important thing is you're trying to educate the nation that can't be educated into thinking about peace. All it wants to do is kill Jews. You understand that truth? And that goes, and now you're telling me that all the Arabs, all the Muslims are scared to talk against it, because if they talk against it in their shoes, they will be shot. They will be killed for doing that. Oh, is this the way you take your way forward? Is this the way you look at things? It's crazy. Crazy. Oh, I have another question for you. Do you honestly think, for 1 minute, the Palestinian people want peace? For 1 minute, you think they want peace? Do you think so? Truth? I want to know the answer.
I believe they do want peace. I believe that the people who control the that's. Oh, sorry, it's about work. I'm saying I really do believe that they, some of them want peace, some of them obviously don't, right? So the point is that we need to save the good people. We have to save the innocent people. That's
you're Egyptian, right?
Yes.
Egypt not only did not open the borders, like you could have, when the war in Ukraine started, they let the women and children out and everybody accepted them. Why did you do the same with Palestinians in Gaza? Why did you say, go to the Sinai desert, we'll do like a 10 cities for you, just the women and children, leave the men to fight the Zionists, whatever. But if there's a genocide,
Instead, you built like a fortified wall between Gaza and Sinai. If you wanted to help them, you could have opened the gate and let them into Sinai, into a city that you create for them.
Well, I'm not my government.
Yeah, I know.
You know? And then the thing is, my honest opinion, I wouldn't even want them there, honestly. Why? Because the fact is that they would have they'll infiltrate. They'll probably start firing from Egypt, and then you guys get a thing against Egypt. So
once again, Netherlands. Look, but I think it's not the reason why your government didn't let them in. They just have very strong ideology, like Islamic Brotherhood, which Egypt fighting for a long period, and they just don't want to let in these ideologies, not because of they afraid of war with Israel, that's because they doesn't want that this ideology will destroy Egypt, and that's the real reason.
Yes, we don't want them because their ideology, Egypt arrested and actually put to death all the Muslim brotherhoods. So we don't want them. So the problem is not only that, but you want us to make the plans with them. You want us to fix it. But you said, hold on. I wasn't finished what I'm saying, and then I'll get to your point. And the second thing is we're afraid that you guys want to expand to our borders as well. So we're not going to get that chance whatsoever. So
why are you afraid of this?
Well, we gave you back to Sinai. We could have spent with more.
Because we don't know more.
Where did this fear come from? Like Israel ever said anything about taking your land?
So the thing is that we believe that you guys want to breed in Israel. So that's why we have
no. But you believe it's nonsense. This is exactly the type of rhetoric that is used to justify all kinds of crimes and awful behavior. Israel does not want Sinai, does not want Egypt. Greater Israel, I'm Israeli. And the first time that I encountered this Greater Israel story is recently online. In Israel, in our discourse, it does not exist. You will not find it in songs, in movies, on the TV, in books, in newspapers. No one is advocating for it. No. Now we have elections, okay? Find me one party that is talking about the great. You will not find it. It does not exist. It's a hoax. It's a scam. It's bullshit. It's like me saying, oh my God, everybody wants to conquer Israel, so we have to kill everybody. It's justification. You didn't see it from Israelis, this story. You heard it from Arabs, from Muslims, not from Israelis. I guarantee you.
Actually, I heard first time about it after 7 o'clock in Clubhouse.
Yeah, me too. I heard it online. Yeah, social media, Twitter, and Clubhouse. This is where I heard about this Great Israel story. I didn't hear about it in Israel for all the life that I've been living.
But I will say one thing that is very important. You must understand that Israel, since for the last 3 years, Israel has actually become greater again. Because it's becoming a great country. So it is much greater than it was before. Okay, so that I'm not going to argue with you on.
It's a bit of a projection. We are not colonizers. This is why Arabic is being spoken by many countries. Spanish is being spoken by many countries because those were colonizers. Jews, we do not proselytize. So let's say we conquer Jordan and Lebanon and Syria. Then what? Don't convert people, so what? You have like 2 Jews controlling me. It doesn't even make sense. You understand? It's something that Muslims can do. It's something that maybe Christians can do. It's not something that Jews can do because we are a religion that does not convert people.
That's a very good point. Like, because I hope you really understand. Look, Israel gave Sinai once for peace because Israel won peace with neighbors. And still in Egypt we have peace and kind of we're following it from both sides. And if, like Daniel said, we will conquer this territory, we will not be able to hold because during the history, like Daniel said, people was holding territory by converting people in their religion. Judaism not convert people, especially by force. Even if you
I
want.
know that. You guys don't knock on people's doors. You guys don't set up a table to actually promote your religion. I know. I live in America. We only know some.
Actually, it's the other way around. In Jewish religion, if you convert, we are supposed to reject you 3 times, and only if you insist, then we believe that you really want to join our tribe. We will not force you. And also, if you do convert, it's not a process like in Islam that you say a sentence. You need to study for like more than a year, and it's a very stressful process. So I don't see how.
No, trust me, I'm familiar, and I understand that. And so, therefore, my point is that this is what I'm telling you as an Egyptian. This is what they fear. We fear that basically we get these people in, that'll be the excuse that you guys want to come and do war with us, and we don't want to risk war with you guys. So we already had war with you guys, and that's enough. It was done. It was done. We fought like men. We fought on land. We fought like men. We fought on air. We didn't fight behind our women and children. So I think that's the issue with the Palestinian people, that they want to come to terms and really admit what they're doing is basically not just Islamically wrong, but in humanity it's wrong. You can't do that. So
they are being indoctrinated that they are right, and they are getting the place was called for thousands of years Judea and Samaria. Then Jordan illegally conquered it and occupied it and renamed it the West Bank in order to erase the Jewish connection to the land. And now people have the nerve to say that if a Jew is living in Judea, he's an illegal settler. Let me ask you this. Apart from Jews living in Judea, give me one example in the entire fucking world of an illegal settler. There is none. The only place in the world where you have illegal settlements is Jews living in Judea. And sorry, I cannot accept this. The world has been indoctrinated that this is like normal. By calling it Palestine and West Bank and all those words, wordplay, genocide, apartheid. What?
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
I'm joining with you, for everyone. I'm listening for everyone, by the way.
Where are you from?
I'm from Middle East.
Which way? Middle East is a big place.
But I'm never like it there. I don't like there. Turkey.
We will not judge you based on where you come from, just to understand where you come from.
I like Turkey. But you said I understand you.
I said Istanbul is beautiful.
Istanbul is beautiful, yes, of course. But our government system is fucking bad. I'm gonna move from any country, USA and Canada. Anyway, you can continue. I'm listening to you.
So basically, the Palestinians, the reason that we cannot have peace with them is because it's an ideology that is meant to oppose my country. It's not a real people that really want to have a country. Otherwise, they could have had a country. Until 1967, Judea and Samaria was under Arab leadership, and Gaza was under Arab leadership. No one was talking about a Palestinian state. In fact, the Palestine Liberation Organization was created in 1964, 3 years before we even conquered those areas. Because the idea is to destroy Israel, and they are very open about it. Hamas, Fatah, PFLP, they all say the same thing. Even now in the West, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Or we don't want a two-state, we want all of it. This is what we hear. It's all about peace. You cannot have peace with Nazism. You have to eradicate Nazism, not the people's idea.
Okay, I'm gonna religion, part of part. Never. I only support peace because my first president creating Turkey Republic is Atatürk saying peace of the world, world of the peace. It's true way. Anyway, but the Zionist people and the richest people.
What is Zionist?
And the Kivsh. Yani,
where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this? Where are you getting this nonsense?
I know.
Who told you? Who told you this?
I'm researching.
Would you like to, let's ask you,
sometimes.
One second, Farouk. Would you like to hear what does Zionism mean from Zionists and not from propaganda?
I don't know what Baal is, by the way. I'm a Zionist Israeli Jew, so is Julia. I don't know what Baal is.
No, one minute.
Well, I can tell you.
You was working in the Mossad?
Oh my God.
Ultimate?
No.
To be honest, I don't think that you should go to the United States. I think that your place is in Islamic Turkey. You are speaking like an Islamist. You sound like educated like an Islamist. You do not belong to the West. If the thing that you're saying are things that you believe in, I don't think you have a place in the West.
Of course, I want to go to the United States. I
don't think you fit there.
Yes, I need freedom. But listen, I don't support
why?
Freedom, the best.
Freedom of what? To spread your bullshit, their nonsense about their ass bullshitting Satan? Who told you this bullshit?
Because my ideology, only just I'm checking, looking in only one way. Only United States. I support always.
Who told you that Zionism is about worshipping Satan?
Zionist means devil.
No.
Yes.
Farouk, don't tell me yes, because you're fucking Turkish.
Okay, wait 1 minute.
You're fucking Turkish. I'm an Israeli Jewish Zionist, okay? I will tell you what I am, okay? Not you.
Where are you from?
Israel.
Okay.
Yes.
Why before I'm watching in the channel is Israel and the Palestinian news in different country. I have been living in Dubai 2 times, 2 years. I totally visited the 5 country. Anyway, why you have to kill child? Why?
Listen, sweetie. If you give me name one war in history where child didn't die.
Hamas.
What Hamas? Hamas didn't kill children?
Yes.
No, these children by name.
Okay, you're fucking idiot. That's all. Stay Turkey.
One second, Farouk, look, we can.
Yeah, not a Nazi. You can stay Turkey.
You always.
One second, Farouk. 1 second.
You see, this is Islam. This is Islam. Spreading hate, lies, and violence.
I am not supposed to Islam.
Farouk.
I didn't believe any religion. Only I have one question.
Can I say for a second? No, you listen to me. First of all, who are you to telling us what we have to do? First of all. Second of all, you're full of propaganda. We can name. Or not, but I'm saying no.
I'm talking Daniel.
Okay. We can name you the kids which was killed by Hamas, on 7th of October. We can name them. We know their names. We know their family. We know how do they look like. Can you name even one Palestinian kid, even one who was?
Give me one more chance. Your internet.
Who was can you respect me?
No, we're losing you.
Give me
internet is not stable.
Can you hear me now?
Give me
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna explain.
Can you hear me now? 1 second. No. Can you hear me now? Okay, I will send on
Yes,
this place
I hear you.
you will be able to hear me. Okay, so we can name kids in Israeli side by names. We know how they look like. We know their families. We know. Can you just for the second? Okay, we know their names. We know their territories. We know their family. But you can't name But you can't name even one kid. But okay, he left. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. But you can't name even one kid. Even one kid, you don't know the name of even one kid who was. Natalie, please, why are you doing it? Natalie, please. You know that I hate when you're doing it. Can I finish, please? Okay, thank you. So, and you can't name even one kid who intentionally was killed by Israel, because Israel don't kill kids intentionally. And it's just war casualties, but because war is unfortunately a bad thing. But we know the names of kids, babies, not kids, babies, who was intentionally killed. So don't tell us, don't teach us, just look on yourself. You can take him out.
And you know, he said that he already did research, which is kind of amazing to me, that someone that did research tells me that Hamas didn't kill children.
Okay.
He killed 40 of them.
1 minute.
And that, yeah, go ahead,
Boss, I am not supporting Muslim.
In the name of Ahuka Mazda, Hashemi, and Jesus Christ.
Listen to me. I never believe in religion. Okay? Listen.
I'm talking about religion.
I forget to.
We're talking about facts. We're talking about facts. You said Hamas did not kill children. He killed 40 of them, including some that he took hostage.
Israel.
Hold on. Do you understand the thing the word that are coming out of my mouth? You said that Hamas did not kill children.
Daniel, listen, I'll tell you something. Daniel, people like you who say such a things are either extremely stupid or they get paid.
He said that he did research. He said he did research.
Can I speak to you about that?
Every child was killed by Hamas.
I am from Iran. I want to tell you one thing. If you really care about children,
You're from Iran?
how many times do you want to tell me? Yes, I'm Iran.
Where are you from?
President based
Good luck. I already told you from your country. I can.
Raffle off some cash and post your disease. My country spoils what happens in Iran. But it is also off the table. Your running mate, James Garfield, won the nomination because it turns out that people actually want a government that they can trust. The old ways is cynical, corrupt.
Yes, after how we've stayed the majority party since the war, rather than hiding on us, you might want to consider
We've got 80 or 90 odd terrorist organizations all over the world. The proxies. How do you know this? If you really care about the truth, you should really want the truth. They are getting them money, their funding from the regime in Iran, while the people suffer. Now speak.
Listen to me, boss. Don't be moved. I'm gonna tell for everything. Because I'm a research and a website. You never enter.
Listen, you cannot change my mind. I'm Iranian. I've been Iranian for the last.
I didn't change your ideology.
Listen, I know who my enemy is. I know who my friends are. My enemy, our enemy, your enemy, is the regime in Iran.
I'm speaking
with that. I'm not salty. All these murderers.
Boss, respect. I'm speaking up.
I'm respecting you. That's why I'm telling you the truth. To let you know who your enemy is.
Okay, 1 minute. I'm gonna tell you.
Blake is the enemy.
Okay, if you support your country, not you, in your population, why you have to, my country is safety place in the Middle East. Your population, your people, always here. I see Istanbul, for everywhere. Why you didn't go back again? If you're scared,
Try from what? Get the regime to take me at the airport and kill me and torture me? This is what they've been doing for 50
Why you
years.
didn't go again? Why you stay Turkey?
I go there.
Wait, man.
Commit suicide.
And listen to me, I have one question again. Before long time ago, in Ottoman Empire, give flag.
Okay, Frank, why Turks are occupying Germany? Why they're not coming back to Turkey? Why not?
Not why not?
Why they are occupying Germany? You're talking about Iranians in Istanbul who are living in a peaceful.
Maybe they will work.
Who?
Turkish people work.
Yeah, like the Iranians in Turkey.
Iranian people scared, not work. Scared.
What?
Scared.
Oh, scared.
Yes,
scared because of the regime.
America attack Iran.
No. If you go to your news channel, I don't know, TRT1, whatever you're watching. I'm Iranian, of course I'm Iranian. Yeah.
TRT1, which channel? Which?
TRT1. All your channels. Wait a second. Let me finish. All your channels. During the war, they have reporters in the border. In the border between Iran and Turkey, and they had nothing. They were looking for people who are coming from Iran to Turkey, but they didn't have anything because there wasn't like Syrian people who were under attack. They go to another country. Iranian people, they stayed in their homeland, and they are staying and they are resisting against their government. You cannot say they are here because of your, because Istanbul is safe, or they are scared about their government, because Istanbul is if you don't know the nickname of Istanbul, it's a crossroad for the spies. Okay? Next time you're gonna say that, you have to, educate yourself about these kind of things. And you left, okay.
He's gone, you see, because he doesn't want to listen to the truth. I think we should still on it. Yeah, so truth, have you learned anything? Have you been educated? Because before you were saying that you thought you were educated, and we were trying to tell you that you're not educated in this subject. Do you think you're learning more now? So you're saying that me telling you that they need better leadership is not being educated? Well, do you know what the leadership, whether it's better or whether it's worse, wants? You know what? Any leadership for the Palestinians want the same thing. So better leadership for the Palestinians. For the Palestinians, better leadership in getting rid of the Jews quicker. This is better leadership for them. No, yes. See, that's an Islamophobic way of thinking, brother. That's not. This is exactly the way they want to think. I'll give you an example of a person that should lead them, but they won't take it because they're fighting. Exactly. Okay, so it has nothing. That's your fault. That's not their fault. What they want is they want